Are you a fan of the No Dishes podcast? Be sure to check out our Patreon, where you can find exclusive merch and perks, and join the Clean Plate Club, our Facebook group where you can connect with other fans of the No Dishes podcast, share your favorite moments from the most recent episodes, and submit questions for upcoming guests. Season 4 of the No Dishes podcast is brought to you by visitbloomington.com. VisitBloomington.com is the best resource for restaurants and culinary information, special events, fun activities, places to stay, and more in our area. We share a similar mission here on the No Dishes podcast of highlighting local businesses and the people who make our community unique. We can't thank them enough for hopping on board. Check them out at visitbloomington.com to easily plan your next meal, visit, or night out on the town. I'm really excited to share this week's episode with you guys. I sat down with my good buddy Darran Mosley with Misfit Toy Karaoke. He's also the lead singer of the Dynamics. He's not technically affiliated with a restaurant, but he gigs in a lot of restaurants and bars, so we wanted to bring him on and get his perspective. We covered a lot of different things, from old yogis to the best meatloaf we've ever had, and kind of some of the similarities of him doing karaoke and me doing bingo and the stuff that we run into. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do.
Hey, say, honey, let's go out to eat. Relieve our culinary duties. With all these restaurants to sweep us off our feet, they're bound to turn us into foodies. Oh, no dishes, no dishes, no dishes. We'll have a bottle of wine for lights and have a good time. No dishes. No dishes.
It's cozy.
Wow. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, so it's cozy.
Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we've talked for a minute. I'm glad we finally made this work out. A nice little Sunday evening.
I love the table too. I love I didn't expect it to be all like homey. This is very nice.
Yeah, we wanted it to feel comfortable. You want the guests to be comfortable. I want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
This was actually my grandparents. This table and chair, I inherited it.
Oh, that's love.
So I had like Thanksgiving as a kid.
Vintage. Yeah, this is like legit vintage. Yeah.
Yeah, it all just tied together real well. Garrett had the little vision for the little half walls.
It was all started with the lamp.
Yeah. He just happened to have that.
The old Pizza Hut lamp.
Yeah, dude, we were gonna do the red cups.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know. We didn't. We might throw them in eventually.
God, man, those are happiness of your childhood is a soda in a cup that size.
Yeah, and then
pre McDonald's like big cup, but that was like the big cup back then.
Oh yeah. He's like, oh man, I get a 20 ouncer. yeah.
Of Sprite, Mountain Dew.
Then you put your pizza order in, and you go play the arcade games.
The flat one.
Dude, old like dining in at Pizza Hut. I miss that.
It was the best.
I wish they could find a way to like bring that back, because they tried to like adapt too much and like got rid of like what made Pizza Hut. You know,
it was my game was one called Year of Kung Fu, and you were like you had to face like the enemy. Like the first dude had a star, the second dude had like those nunchucks that went on your wrist. You know what I mean? That was like they just went higher up on the kung fu scale. That was my game. It was only at Pizza Hut. That was mine. Always remind me of Pizza Hut.
I love that.
I think it was called Year of Kung Fu.
Your Kung Fu?
Year of Kung Fu. I think.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I was just talking to my buddy today. Him and his wife just got back from like an all-inclusive trip in like Dominican Republic. And I was like, how was it? He's like, man, it was good. Everything was great. But like the food wasn't that good. He's like, we get to the airport and there was a Pizza Hut there. And he's like, dude, we went so hard. And I was like, I bet that was the happiest he's ever been to see a Pizza Hut.
Oh, man. Honestly, Mother Bears, like I think a lot of the food from our generation changed. Like Mother Bears taste like what Pizza Hut used to taste like, that crust.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. I never thought about that.
And like all the other ones, I think when they did that trans fat thing, it kind of changed. Like all of our childhood, like Long John Silver, Pizza Hut, they all had to change to make it a little bit less bad. But the only thing that ever kept, like that Mother Bears reminds me of like exactly how Pizza Hut used to taste back in the day.
That's a good call. I never thought about that. It's like that perfect amount of greasy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's the pan that they used to, yes.
Well, it's almost like a cast iron.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, it puts that like little crust on it, and it's just this like seasoning of 2000 pizza. Yeah. Dude, well, Garrett was telling me.
Oh, the meats are seasoned right now. I'm gonna be at Mother Bear's as
And
soon as I
then
leave here.
they make their brownies with the Ghirardelli chocolate.
Oh.
Do the little munchy
I hear
madness.
you. I hear you.
I didn't realize Garrett was telling me on your birthday you get however old you are % off.
Oh,
So like we go order that shit, get 33% off
awesome.
today.
That's awesome.
Let's just call it a Munchy Madness. We'll have that for we'll have it for the
What kind of pizza you guys want me to put in?
yeah,
Put-
sausage.
Look.
Let's go.
If it could be here by 8, that's my. Remember that 12 to 6 had to.
Oh, it'll be here, man.
Oh,
You
that's
got
right.
time.
Yeah. If y'all did, I'm down for
Ooh,
a
Munchy
meat
Madness.
lovers.
Sure, I'll give you my
Yeah, man.
ID
Yeah,
so
I
we
got
can
Venmo.
verify.
Straight
So
up.
we can
Cheese
verify.
bread or breadsticks.
Man, what do you say?
Cheese bread or breadsticks.
Don't matter to me. I'm on that meat lovers pizza is what I.
All right.
Yeah.
Lovers.
I usually just
Any
do
dipping
sausage,
so-
sauce?
A
Dipping sauces?
little cheese.
Don't
and-
matter to me. Again,
yeah.
I'm
All right. I'll put-
Cheese
I'm
and
easy
marinara.
when it comes
Cheese
to
and marinara.
breadsticks. I'm always like, where the pizza?
Do you have to like tell them
Give
when
me
you
the
order,
pizza.
like, hey, it's 33-year-old birthday, what we've got ID? Or dude, that's probably
I should call them. I
Is
should call
that-
them just in case.
is that dine-in only? It's probably dine-in only.
I think
Let me see.
every time I go in, there's a poster board that's like, "How old are you today?"
But I bet it's dine-in only.
I'm gonna call them.
We'll find out.
Mark- Year of Kung Fu. Let me see if that's it called. If that's the right game.
I'm surprised you haven't already like bought that, put it in your basement or something. You know what I mean?
Man, the things are hard to repair. I found out something. Yep, it was called Year of Kung Fu. Let me see if this looks familiar to you. I just found out that
I'm sorry.
I love this.
I don't mean to. We're doing it on the fly. If anybody ever doubted that we didn't produce this like at all ahead of time, this is it. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha.
Well, I love.
So it's like the dude with the chain, the big guy. Do you remember this? Does that look
Just
familiar
for
to you?
dining.
No, I don't. Just
Man,
for
it was
dining.
good.
Oh, that's what I thought, man. That
It's so good.
sucks.
There was
Because I'm trying to think. I think they might have had a Simpsons one at my Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah,
Like-
the 4-player one where yeah.
Yeah.
God, you could not see Bart Simpson in those days.
Did
It
you
was
ever
like
play the old? It was like not an arcade game, but a video game, the like Simpsons Hit and Run.
Mm-mm.
That was fun. Where you just like, because you got to drive all over Springfield.
Oh,
Be like, oh, there's the church. There's
yeah.
Moe's.
It's
It's like that was the best part. Like
got
not
you.
even just the game, but just like, oh, I'm living in Springfield. I'm driving around. I'm going to the burning tire yard.
Oh.
You know.
Moe's Tavern.
I had brunch with my nephews today. They're like, "Do you play any video games?" I was like, "Man, not anymore. Like, I don't like. I just don't have the time. Like, I don't even play games on my phone.
I do
like-
that. I ain't gonna lie about it. I do have a phone game. You
See,
got a
I
phone
like.
game?
I burn time so much already on
Yeah.
stupid shit. Like,
Like when you're taking a shit though, like you're in the, what are
I'm
you doing?
browsing.
You're browsing. You're
I'm
looking at
browsing
sports
stuff.
Okay. I don't know.
yeah, like I'm not trying to set high
You're not trying-
scores
you're
when.
trying-
I mean,
You
you're
got
already
business
sitting
thinking.
down. You gotta, at
Yeah,
least
do
take a
something.
break,
Yeah,
right?
man.
yeah.
I mean, you're looking at your phone. It just matters what you're looking at. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, no. I mean, I'm on my phone. Yeah, what's you ever like go to do that and forget your phone and you're just like trying to look around for like read shampoo bottle or like
I ain't gonna lie. I might clamp it.
yeah.
I might clamp
Go
it.
out of my way, and I'm like, oh, I know what I'm about to go do.
like-
Where is my phone?
I
Like,
just
make sure I
yeah.
have it.
Oh yeah. I like.
Might.
I want to start using that phrase for a lot of things. I might clamp it. Like, hey, bro, you want to
Squeeze
get
some
Taco Bell
cheeks.
later? I don't know. I might clamp
I
it.
might clamp it.
I might instead of like copping some, I'm gonna clamp it.
I will totally sit there and squeeze some cheeks and get straight to my phone. Yeah, I love there's a game called Marvel Snap. Got Fat Kid got me on it. Who else is playing it? Pretty much everybody knows playing this damn game. Marvel Snap. Before then, it was
What's
I
it
still
on?
play-
Is it on your phone?
On the phone, it's free.
And it's like all the Marvel characters.
It's like a deck building game, sort of. A deck builder. Which
Is that like Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yep, like anything where you're collecting cards, they got special abilities. You get other people's, they got a deck of cards, they got special abilities, but it's all in the Marvel universe.
Okay.
But then you have 6 turns to play the cards in your hand. You know.
Can you play against like other people online?
You
like
can,
you build
but
your
it's a
deck.
constant of other people online, but you can't I can't play you. I can't be like, hey Jordan, I want to play you.
Yeah,
Everyone's
it's
playing.
random.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
but it's cool. I like it a lot. That and I still play a little Pokemon Go. So
There you go.
But you can't do that.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was nuts when that first started because I would just look out from the moose and like there would just be horror or just even driving around.
Never seen anything like that.
I'm never gonna forget
Yeah,
that. That
was
was like
I still see people doing raids, and like I can tell, like if you're at a church, you just see 6 cars just like roll up in the middle of a church at 3 a.m. I'll be like, look, oh, it's a raid. All right, I see that.
I didn't know
I
that's
see
what it
what's
was called.
happening. Yeah.
I remember because that was when we were in the stand and I went across the street downloaded the app just to get like a Bulbasaur to show up. Wasn't
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the first one you would
Yeah,
get?
one of the first ones. Yeah.
And then so I got like that to show up on my screen with the moose in the back and like screenshotted it. Like
That's awesome.
Chaka Moose is hip.
That's nice.
We know
Yeah,
what's
that's
up.
awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I never got into like playing it. I collected Pokemon cards like as a kid. That was like 4th grade, 5th grade for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it wasn't sustained. But there was this little place we went called the Foolery, and that was the best.
Where? You're in?
It was in Carmel.
Carmel.
Yeah.
I keep thinking. Where's the place you vacay at?
Culver.
Yeah. So I was thinking there, but Carmel. Okay. So you collected them as a kid?
Yeah.
You got brothers?
One brother.
One brother.
I don't think he did though. It was more like with friends at school.
Okay.
I don't recall him ever doing Pokemon. But he got me into a lot of he was the one that like I don't know. I always randomly just had like R&B like in rap was what I loved. But like my brother got me into like Cake and Red Hot Chili Peppers and Radiohead.
Okay.
Like he was my rock influence.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got you.
And then like my parents obviously it was all like Christian music. But
Yep. You had that Amy Grant. You had that
dude, yeah.
that DC talk.
Oh man, I haven't heard or thought of the name Amy Grant in a minute.
Maybe the Power Team got some phone books to rip. You know what I mean?
There was like Audio Adrenaline, the Newsboys, but like I loved like Mary Shackles. We were bumping Kirk Franklin Revelation in The Office the other day.
Yes.
Have a little Chaga Moose revival.
I saw that on
my story.
On your story, yeah.
We were getting it.
I took my mother to see Kirk Franklin. He was in Indy with.
Oh, really?
Just like last month, yeah.
Oh shit, recent?
Yeah, just like it was like
it was probably an incredible show.
Oh, it was amazing. It was,
that dude's a performer.
I've never seen. Well, they filled Banker's Life, so it was like they filled Banker's Life. I've never been. I mean, it was a rock star basically at that point. I mean,
man, I'm
he went
so
through his whole
disappointed I
thing.
didn't see or know or hear about that. That would have been such a blast.
I told my friends I was gonna come back saved, and it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, dude.
Karaoke's over now.
It's so funny because like I'm not really like a Christian anymore. Like grew up preacher's kid, but like man, when I get some like gospel going, I'm like maybe I need to rethink
convicted.
this. Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know. It's like I can feel the Holy Spirit moving.
Come on in. You feel like Terry.
Oh man, yeah.
Trust me, I understand.
It's like you feel like some exorcisms happening, like all the bad shit's coming out. And
I feel like that's good for you. I think that's the roots of a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like the stuff that kept you straight, like out of trouble when you was a kid. Because it kept me out of trouble. I don't know what I'd have done if it hadn't been for religion when I was in my 20s. You feel
right?
Me?
Yeah.
Like in just 18 and growing up where I came from and knowing that was like my focus of we don't do this. Like they do this, we don't do this.
Right.
It kept me on target. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one, man. I go back and forth on like my feelings about being raised like in a Christian household. Because like there's people, because I went to Heritage Christian, because you went to Tech, right?
Yeah, I went to Tech. My cousin went to Colonial. So yeah.
Oh man, that's another one I hadn't heard of. Colonial Christian, man. I hadn't heard about them in a while. That's
K through 12, right? Was yours? The same thing?
I went fourth through 12.
Okay,
yeah, and it was I don't know. It's just like there's women that I went to school with that like now talk about like how bad it was for them because of like the different dress code standards and stuff like that, and just like there's some things that can be blamed on like women and that like probably shouldn't be. Definitely shouldn't be, you know?
I hear you.
But it's like, I've always had that like kind of been torn, like, okay, but like it gave me somewhat of a moral code in a way, but like you necessarily don't need that. I don't know.
There's no system I think is a perfect system, but I do think that having a system when you need a system is worth something. Like those times where like me knowing like what I thought was the idea of right and wrong might have just kept me away from doing something or trying something that I might have been too young to try. Or too young to do. Like I didn't really drink, I didn't really smoke. Like, you know, everyone experiments. For me, it was like I took one puff of a cigarette in the 3rd grade. That was it. I didn't drink at all. I didn't smoke weed at all. It wasn't. That was when I got to college. You know what I mean? When you start to. But by that time, I think I was old enough to make some decisions. But even in college, I was, dealing with. I was, pretty much. I was married at 18, and that was why, because you can't have sex without being married. So I was dated a girl. We was together at 18. Married by 20, you know what I mean?
Shit, I had no idea. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I was married from 20 to 27, but again, I don't regret any of that because that also kept me safe. It kept me focused through undergrad. Like my friends that were, like again, I might have experimented a little bit, but it kept me from going way too far into
taking a hard ride.
Yeah. And again, it's so easy to do. So, I take the good and the bad from it. There was definitely some things that, from just from a society standpoint, that religion needs to work, organized religion needs to work on, but the energy of like a group of people trying to do the right thing for each other.
Right.
I mean, I still feel that.
That's my biggest
thing.
That's my biggest thing is the organized religion at a certain level.
Yeah.
And what their actual like motives are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hard for anybody. I think when you get to a certain size, for whether everything starts off thinking they're doing the right thing, but the bigger it grows and the more you think we have the best idea, so we want to make you do it. We want to give it to you.
Right.
And we want to make you do it. That's when you jump into that. I don't care if it's church, I don't care if it's liberalism, whatever it is, when you get to the point where you're telling people what they got to do, I think you're going to get people that feel a way about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Absolutely.
No matter how good the idea is, people just don't like being told what to do.
Yeah. Well, and people will start out with good intentions and then just, get, I guess, led astray, to use Bible terminology,
Yeah. Like, oh, yeah.
Like,
led astray. I can always tell a preacher's kid, if somebody grew up in church, little keywords let me know. Like, led astray. I was led astray. I'm like,
it's like, were you Lutheran? I knew it.
Led astray. That's funny. You didn't come home till 4 a.m, did you? I was led astray. It was a trick of the enemy.
I ran into this girl, man. I was led astray, dude.
It's a trick of the enemy. You didn't.
Devil's out here trying to get me. Devil's out here trying to get me.
I know what you mean. All them phrases.
I used one the other day that was like very. I don't know, man. I wish I could remember it, but it was just one of those that, like, you're never thinking of that unless that's just what you grew up.
Oh yeah. In spirit versus in self is one of my favorites. So in spirit was like if you were doing something in accordance to like what God told you to do. In self is anything else. So there's a lot of times like, oh, you in self right now. You know what I mean? You in self right now. So
that's good. I didn't grow up with that one, but I like the in spirit and in self.
We were Pentecostal, so it was
okay.
Like, we were the only Black Assembly of God church in all of Indianapolis, and I didn't know how weird that was until I got to college.
Yeah,
because I thought we were Pentecostal and those other Black Pentecostal kids in my high school, and they, Pentecostal being like the tongue talking, healing, that whole thing. And I knew those other Black kids, but they were apostolic or Kojic. But we were like Assemblies of God, which is like Tammy Faye, like that thing. And that's predominantly white, which I did not know. Our church was all Black. And I used to wonder why we went to like to do worship with another AOG church, why they were always white. Yeah. And they were all, but I did not figure that out till I got to college. And I was like, oh, it's like, you were the only one in Indianapolis at that time. So yeah, that was adding to the bucket of weird that makes Darran.
Yeah. Hey, whatever it all was, I'm happy for it. Because it worked out all right.
Thank you.
But it was like when we first moved to Indiana, my dad was a preacher at a Methodist church in Anderson. And we'd commute up there. Then we were at a Presbyterian in Indy, and then we kind of went non-denominational. Okay. But like when I think Pentecostal, I think of like when I waited tables and worked at O'Charlie's on the West Side. Oh yeah. And I'm thinking long jean skirts.
That's apostolic. Hair in a bun. That's a form. That's apostolic, and that's like they take the phrase, the Bible verses as like of the world, but not in the world. Yeah. That's taken a certain way. Like we look a certain way. We want to set ourselves apart. And that was, very much so. Like in my church, we couldn't. I remember the 700 Club figured out that Gargamel's a wizard, so Smurfs was out. I just had to change, like if Mumra changed it when he says ancient spirits of like I had to change the channel. Like if Mama ever heard that,
my mom would not let us have anything Harry Potter or anything like that. Simpsons, like we got lucky that she, you know what I mean? Like that was it.
Somehow.
But like SpongeBob was pushing the gay agenda, according to my mom. Oh yeah, like South Park was obviously way out of the question, and it was I don't know. I grew up with like speaking in tongues, and faith healing. Yep. My dad accidentally shot himself in the foot in like 87, 88, a few years before I was born. Didn't go to the hospital for like 2 days. Okay. Because he believed so much in like God's divine healing.
He was in self.
Yeah.
That's called being in self right there.
And he finally figured out like maybe God's working through these doctors.
God's working through them to help me. I feel you. That's a funny moment. When
so weird how personal experience can change your worldview.
Ain't it? Foot starts infecting, getting red hot. Yeah, I feel you on that.
I love it. We'll have to start a religion podcast, bro.
Oh my God, that's the whole thing. That's definitely the disclaimer. I'm gonna need 3 of them for that.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna tune into this episode, so they're like, man, I thought this was a restaurant podcast.
It is, I know. Food, yes. Food.
Yeah, it's like let's start talking about pitching after service. Yes, like let's go.
Oh man,
So the Methodist church they had this like before I ever knew like Hawaiian or that was a big thing, but it was like a little sweetbread, like big old loaf. And then,
what's it called? It's the famous the rolls, the Hawaiian King rolls that you're talking about.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think maybe it was that brand, but I had never seen that. But it was like a big loaf. Yeah, it was sweet. And like for communion, they tear off a piece.
Yeah,
and then it was grape juice.
Yeah.
And my fat ass would always go to the kitchen right after service to see what was left over. And I'm just like getting bread and grape juice, getting all hyped up.
Join the club. If I was we did that. So it came around in communion with the big metal thing with the plastic cups in them and those fancy metal thing.
Real nice little silver plate.
Yeah. A little cross the middle. I definitely was back there in the back after church smashing all the leftover grape juice. I wanted all the blood of Jesus I could get. That's all I wanted.
Like I'm trying to find salvation through the blood of Jesus right now.
Searching for sugar.
It was before LMFA shots came out. You're like shots.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was definitely your first shot.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, they're training alcoholics in the
did.
church.
I did. I can tell you. I never puked on a shot because I knew.
Oh man. See, my parents didn't drink growing up, and I always remember hearing that like Catholics drank.
Yep.
That was the difference between like Catholics and Protestants was that like drinking was fine.
Yep. That they were allowed to drink and they could go into a booth and make everything okay. And I was like, man, I need that booth. I need that religion. I want to
Yeah. Like,
I want to be in self.
Yeah.
You know
like, can we build one of these booths?
Yeah. I just got to tell the preacher, but no telling how that. You know how things go in church.
You're like, I got some shit I want to do.
You couldn't trust that. You couldn't trust that. Your business would be everywhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But no, I definitely love that. Those we didn't have beer in my house. Like I went to my friend's house and he had a beer in his fridge, and I remember being like, oh. Like, I mean, the feeling of like, oh, beer in the house. Okay.
The first time you go to a friend's house and their parents are drinkers and you're just like, it's so crazy to you. Like, what?
Oh.
Like, oh man, I thought he just needed some salt for his food was under season.
Rest in peace, Darnell. Remember Darnell?
Oh, was that? Oh man, that's sad.
Oh yeah, I know.
Man, because he ran Urgent Foods.
Yeah,
and they did Food Truck Friday. Man, that's sad.
Yeah, man, he was a wild
way
boy.
to bring it down, Darren. I'm just kidding.
You know this town, man.
I know.
It does that to you.
That's one of those where like I wasn't in an interaction with him enough, and I hadn't seen him in years. So when he did pass, like I always forget that he's passed.
Yeah,
because it didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's one of those names that pops up in so many funny, weird story circles of like when because he was if you knew him, you loved him, but to know him was to love him, but also to know who he was. You know what I mean?
Right.
To just know, so
he was a character, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was. I don't know. He seemed like he had a good heart, from what I could tell. You know.
Yeah. He's Darnell. That's the
best you can say. That's all you can say.
He's Darnell. I don't know. I think didn't he get shut down for like not understanding about like. You can't cook pork. Like if you say you're doing kosher,
he had, I mean, like he had some things
funny,
where, like, you know, because we work with the health department, make sure the food trucks are all good, all that. Like it's pretty good relationship, and food trucks are all good with it. They're all, they're all doing their thing. They're all just trying to sell food, and make money. But he would keep like having it to where it's like his water tank wasn't filled, so like there was no running water. So it's like, how are you gonna wash your hand? How are you gonna do dishes?
He was hood, and I loved him for it. I mean, that's kind of what you loved about him. Is he reminded me of Indianapolis, like a shout out of how I grew up, just randomly in Bloomington. And that hadn't changed. It's like if you just took him out from like 1990, and we loved Prince together, so we would always sit and talk Prince. He's a shout out of like 1990, but just popped into Bloomington for this time period. Yeah, I miss that dude.
On that note, I was thinking the other day, do you still do Royalty, the Prince cover band?
They need me, but not on the regular. So Jada.
So they have another singer?
Well, it started off as Jess Franco's birthday. It wasn't even supposed to be a whole band. It was supposed to be like a one-hit thing. For Jess did it because her birthday, Jess from the Velours. You know who she is?
Yeah. Franco?
Yep. Awesome. Love her. She's like, her birthday is the day that Purple Rain came out. And so for her, I think it was her 30th, she just said, I'm going to do a Purple Rain band.
Yeah.
And Jess is bad. Like, she's a visionary. Like most people say they're going to do stuff like that. Jess literally said, I'm going to do it. And she did it. And she put together this badass band. It's one of the best bands I've worked with a lot of talented people in my life. That band was one of my favorite, like top to bottom musicianship. Like they were just amazing musicians. And we did it for a birthday, but it was so good and so fun that we just kind of kept doing it. But Jess never intended to do that. So then Jada kind of took the reins of like, okay, we want to gig more. But so for someone like myself who's just busy a lot, like we never, like I'm between karaoke, my own band, my life, it just became a thing where I end up being the hindrance of like we want to do a gig here. Well, I already got a gig that day. Hey, you want to do a gig here?
Everybody
I
else
got
is
a wedding.
available except you.
Yeah. So I still rock with them if ever need be.
Who are they
But
saying? Who sings now?
Jada.
Okay,
Jada.
yeah. That makes
So I've
sense.
seen
Who's
that.
an original lineup of like that?
Oh
first, like,
man, Drew
Jessica's
Kinkus, Bryce. Bryce is in Spikes and Bryce.
Old Dirty Bryce.
Yeah. He's a
ODB?
bad man. Oh man, he's a bad boy. Like the Kinkus brothers, Drew and Bernard. Man, and I can't remember the keyboardist's name, but just across the board, most of the time in bands, I feel like as a singer, I'm like you. It's kind of not a competition, but you don't want the band to be better than you. You don't want the band to come to rehearsal.
And you don't want to be the weak link.
Yeah. And like I'll leave rehearsal like, damn, I need to I thought I listened to that track, but I need to go back and like make something up because they're doing some stuff like they are showing out.
Right.
Like or as they say, like, don't play in my face like that. Like if you jam it, like you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like if
I
somebody
love that
like
phrase.
like you know what I mean, don't play in my face like that. Like we practiced it this way and you came with some extra smoke and now I'm looking like average Joe.
They got some karaoke singer that
don't play in my face like that. You know what I mean?
Don't
And
play
they
in
would
my
play in my face all the time. I'll just have to deal with it. But they were amazing.
Well, yeah, that's good.
So I do miss those. I do that lineup has changed and they've got new musicians currently, but that was one of the baddest lineups of musicians I've ever worked with.
I love that. You did, speaking of like putting together dope shit, that Dieter in Wonderland was amazing,
Oh
man.
that was a party.
That was
a party.
That was like right after you and I had just kind of met.
Yeah.
It was at Sweetgrass. You rented it out. You had Action Jackson DJ.
Yep.
It was back when the Harlem Shake
Yep.
was a big thing.
Yeah, man. That was Byron. The videographer was amazing. I still
we were
look at
hanging
that,
out with him last night.
Yeah, I saw that. I still look at that video. Like he's still like I look, man. That dude was amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, how much did you charge us for this? Because it was so good.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked because that was like the highest level of video production I'd seen from someone that I knew personally.
Yeah.
At that time, he's a bad boy.
That was just so cool because it was all industry people.
Yep.
And it was it was like an open bar.
We had before
With
it was Uber.
wristbands.
Oh yeah, the wristbands. That's how I did my 30th.
That was the most I ever drank while working. Was that party, dude? Closing that night was rough because we were like, we're just hanging out with you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think we made like $500 each because again, it's all industry folks just tipping super fat. And it was we were taking turns going out dancing. One person's bartending, the other one's not. And
I miss that Sweetgrass. No, I don't. The Sweetgrass now I still enjoy.
Yeah,
but
the
I really
OG
do. Or what's it not called that anymore? It's called
Southern Stone.
Southern Stone now. But man, they had this this po' boy that was just amazing back in the day.
I was talking to someone about OG Sweetgrass yesterday or 2 days ago, and their first thing they mentioned was the po' boy.
It was good.
It was just like the shrimp was perfectly breaded. It had a homemade ranch, that Carolina vinegar-based slaw.
All worked.
A nice hoagie. I think that's all. Oh, and fried banana peppers. It all just worked in perfect harmony.
Woo. Boy, you making me think about it.
Did you ever eat the shaved pork loin sandwich?
Yes, I did, sir. Yes, I did, sir.
You think I was born yesterday?
No. I'm talking about you making. I'm over here singing like there's Maxwell songs going off in my head. I'm over here picturing it. It's in slow motion with like Maxwell playing straight up.
Oh man, little shaved pork, some
Man,
cheddar,
I ain't going to Luther.
that barbecue sauce.
Man, listen.
Let's just do this for 2 hours. I'm just gonna describe food to you for 2 hours.
In your eyes, then I see. It is slowly going. It's like walking down the aisle to me. It was good, boy. That was mother spot was that closed was man, they had the scholars when scholars did
Scholars Take.
Yeah, and when it came back,
Keep, Scholars Keep.
Scholars Keep. Man, they had a biscuit. It was the first time I ever did hollandaise because I don't really I call that white people shit. You start doing too much, like give me scrambled
That's
fried.
some mayonnaise shit.
Yeah, I mean, but that mug, I'd never done a runny egg, but he had like the cube. That shit was delicious. It was I can't think. It was a husband and wife team that was doing. He was the chef and she was the manager, and I think the dude from Orange Theory owned it.
Oh man, I know this is gonna bother me now. I know who.
Man, it was so
because
good.
they carried our ice cream. I would go walk in the kitchen, give him a tub. And there was like Polly. Polly worked in that kitchen when those Scholars Keep. Who was that?
The chicken and biscuit waffle thing.
Man, that's gonna bother the hell out of me, man. So now do you rock hollandaise frequently?
Nope. That's how good it was. It was the only time I fucked with it. I mean, I might if someone now I would look at it and I at least don't check it off the menu, but it was so good that it was one of those things from that particular place, from that particular chef. That was like they only did it for breakfast because it was a chicken and waffle thing. Yeah. With like the egg and the bacon. It came up in my Snapchat memories the other day. It made me sing one look in your eyes. Like seriously, singing songs to it. I missed that place.
You're just like for 20 minutes, you're just spaced out remembering it. And then you just kind of snap back to reality.
Boy, what food do you miss? Like, is there a spot for you that's like, doesn't exist anymore, or they changed their menu?
Well, so on the note of Scholars Keep, back when it was Scholars Inn, they did a 30% service industry brunch discount on Sundays. Well, and dinner. Sunday brunch and dinner, you could go in there if you worked in the restaurant industry, you got 30% off. And that was so cool because you would go in and see people from other restaurants.
Smart, man.
And it was just like the spot to be.
God, that was smart. I miss those. There are some places like, again, they come and go that you do miss, but that was the second iteration of that was the one, the Scholars Keep. I loved, and I really do. And the martini nights, the old school martini nights at the old when it was the first Scholars Inn. I also missed those too. It was like the $2 I don't know what they were cheap. I forgot what they were.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It might have been like $2 or something like that. But whatever it was, these places that the industry places that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, well, so House Bar, obviously not food, but like House Bar was one in the rail because those go hand in hand. Aaron and Kevin at our birthday dinner last night, they were talking about how they met, and it was on the last night the rail was open.
Yeah,
and that's how they met. And
okay, that's great. They gave. I wasn't there that night, but that's a legendary night.
I know
to hear. I mean, I heard about that night.
I was there. I think I was there early in the night, but I heard that it got like wild.
Yeah,
like it got.
I heard it was. You know how sometimes parties can get sad, like when you mad. There's one of those moments.
That was one where they made
drank
the most
sad. Yeah. And that's when the damage starts to happen. When you be like, "Oh man," like they didn't want it to go away. You know? What I mean?
Oh yeah. I remember I went and I DJ'd the last night for like employee going away party for the old Yogis.
Oh man, I did that too.
I got a picture way back on my Instagram feed of Jack on the bar shirtless, and just like everybody's just like dancing, having a good time. Like people were taking their Century Club plaque names and like they were trying to get a bicycle off the wall like in the lobby.
Man, they tore that place apart. I got a picture. That's all I wanted was one of the Yogis pictures.
Nice. Yeah, I've got one of like a guy running and he's got like a little runner Speedo on and on his ass it says Yogis. And it's that's hanging up in my apartment. I got that OG stuff.
My best Yogis memory was the year that IU beat Duke. And it was Bobby had just got fired. Mike Davis is now.
Oh, is this when we were the 4 seed?
Mm-hmm. It was like I don't think we were. I think we beat Duke. We were 1, and I don't know what. No, we might have been like 8. We were not expected to beat them.
Yeah.
Like it was. We went to this. I went to watch this game
because that's when we played Maryland in the national championship.
Yeah.
Right?
That
that's
year.
back when they had like Battier and Boozer
and AJ Moye. Yeah, that was like for us. Who
was the Cloverdale?
Yep. Cloverdale and Fife. I think might have been. It might have been on that squad. And I went to Yogi's and Yogi's had like the room that you remember how they had the middle bar room and there was like a little room over in the corner that no one really used. Like those 3 rooms in Yogi's. Those like the where you walked in. Actually, those 4.
So there's patio, back bar, the main room,
and then there's
front
a little
bar,
and then there's a little bar around the corner, like where if you look on where Yogi's is now.
The front bar.
Wasn't it? But it was like it was its own little room back then, though. It wasn't like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like.
So I never went there when they had pool tables. Is that
okay?
What you're talking about?
Yeah, this is definitely this
okay.
is well, it's around. It is definitely pool table days. But we're all arm in arm, right? But when we're on the free throws, the whole bar is. Then you can feel the foundation of the building moving. Like it's one of those moments, and it's from. I'm armed with somebody I don't know on both arms, and everyone's rocking it. And all across the bar, you can literally feel the building moving. So of course we win the game. We run outside, and we were just got all the Hoosier energy.
Yeah.
And this one kid he wants to go to Kirkwood, and he sprints across 10th Street and gets fucking Meet Joe Black. I'm talking like boom. Like took the air out of everybody's sail. Like we were all like, because I thought this dude.
I'm sorry, the Meet Joe Black thing just.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
It's not funny.
It's funny because you seen it. You didn't expect that to happen.
Funny.
It was like boom, like and it was like the whole crowd like stopped, and all of a sudden he jumped up. He said, "Go IU!" And
you're all like, yeah!
Man, I've never yelled. It was like Braveheart. We were like.
It's so funny. He was probably just so drunk he wakes up the next day with 3 broken ribs.
Man. I actually watched him to make sure he didn't do like that. I think I'm running and I fall over and pass out. But he made it out of eyesight. I was like, I could not believe he survived that. Who are you? I have never screamed. It was like the field of Braveheart when he's riding when he's on the horse giving the speech. Me and Mike Doc, God, that was fun. That was my favorite Yogi's memory.
What was the? I was gonna say, he must have had plenty of the shots of the like Slevitz or what was the?
Man, back then
they had that really disgusting,
that weird.
No, they had Shotskis.
It's like a
but it was like
or what's it from?
Oh man,
I know what you're talking about. No. It's like a bitter. It's the equivalent of when we do Malort and Malort and Fernet now. And I wasn't at that level of drinker yet. I was like, I hadn't.
It was was it like a brandy?
I can picture the bottle, but I never.
Yeah, same, like kind of. Yeah.
But I never drank it. I was
like, Jordan, what are you talking about?
I can picture that bottle too.
I can see the curves right now.
Here and now. Back to Luther. But yeah, that was pre-Fernet. Back then, I was a simple Jack and Coke man.
Dude. I remember when Fernet came to rage. I think that was like when the rail was open.
Yeah,
when Fernet
started
was
that.
That's when it started popping.
That's when it started. Yeah,
and I'm just like, I never got on board with it. I'm like, just give me Jameson.
Yeah,
I'm good. Like, we're all pretending to like that.
Nah, man, good. It happens. I thought the first time was a punishment shot for me. Someone gave it to me as a joke, and I thought that's the grossest thing that ever happened. So of course, being a dude, bro, I gave it to my dude as the grossest thing that ever happened to him. But I have to do it too. You know what I mean? And then the third time it happened, giving it to another friend of mine as his first time. I was like, oh, I get it. And so it was like, and it was the last thing that ever did that. Like usually whiskey was like that. If you give a shot of straight whiskey to me at 21, I'd be like, this is gross.
Right.
But eventually, like you want a little bit of just Jack and the Coke, and the taste of whiskey starts to appeal to you.
Right.
Fernet was the last thing that got me like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I just pulled out too soon. Yeah.
Do you like coffee?
Yeah.
Fernet made me like coffee. I never liked coffee until after I liked Fernet.
One of the things I didn't start liking until I was older was blue cheese. I didn't like blue cheese when I was younger at all. I didn't start liking blue cheese until like 25, 26.
What do you do with it?
What do you mean?
Like what situation is blue cheese better than ranch?
So what? Like for example, we just went and watched some of the Bengals Bills game, which I kind of wanted to look to see who won. Yeah, pull that up. And we were at Brothers, and their wings were actually really. I've had their boneless before. I've never had their original.
Yeah,
and they were really, really good. But I did one thing of ranch, one thing of blue cheese. I don't know. It's nice.
You're a wild boy. You're a wild boy.
You're a wild boy.
There's not many things that blue cheese is. Like there's things I'm trying to think. There's something I eat that is blue cheese specific, but unless it's like something that I mean,
like
I
a
will
buffalo chicken sandwich with blue cheese crumbles on it.
Is it
I mean, I'd rather have ranch.
That
all right. I don't know.
It's an Avers pizza that has gorgonzola on it. That's pretty fire.
Oh,
it's like Beck and Desire or something.
Yeah. Oh, I must have Beck and Desire. Let me see who did win that game.
Yeah, that's it's a mood thing, man. I like ranch, but like it's a mood thing. If you want a little extra tang.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's the score?
Cincinnati won 27-10. I'm rooting
27-10. Man, Buffalo only put up 10. Dude, Buffalo was 6-point favorites, and I didn't get that.
They were
Cincinnati
been on
won 9 games in a row. And Cincinnati just doesn't get the respect they deserve, man.
I'm rooting for them because I root for teams that we can get on this all day.
How can you not like Joe Burrow? And
I like Cincinnati's fans, like really, people that root for your team. These new age of fans, like people that follow like a player and don't know what it's like to like. I almost have so much disdain for that. I know it's the new generation's thing to do.
I mean, it's hard to hate on Buffalo's fans though.
No, they're great.
Hilarious.
I mean, that's
like they're diehard. They're funny.
They went to every Super Bowl when I was in high school and didn't win one.
I just remember I went to a Monday nighter at RCA Dome against the Bengals, and I've never seen so many of an opposing team there because it's so close.
Yeah.
And they were just so obnoxious with the who dey. I'm just like, oh, God, it's like that's.
I get you.
Did they rip that off of the Saints, or the Saints rip that off of them?
I don't know. That's a
Did
good
they
question.
both do it?
Who dat, and who dey? I think it's who dat and who dey.
Well, yeah, but it's like
I don't know who did it first.
It really annoyed me at the time, but now it's like. It's hard to hate on them because they've been so bad for so long. I mean, I loved back in the day Hushmanzada, Chad Ochocinco, Carson Palmer.
Icky Shuffle, man. It's like the first time as a kid. I was like, oh, he should like the first touchdown dance I remember was the Icky Shuffle.
Okay, my favorite growing up was Joe Horn's cell phone.
Oh yeah. Pull out the thing.
The padding of the goalpost. Pulls it out. Yeah. Calls his mom. That's when
they knew he was doing too much. That's when the NFL was like, listen, y'all.
Okay, yeah. That's when it turned into.
That's they started getting weird the other way. That's like, listen, we don't know what y'all gonna do.
That's right around when T.O.'s doing the Sharpie, the popcorn.
Oh yeah.
That's when they turned into the No Fun League.
Yeah, No Fun League. I do. But and you're right. I do like the Bills fans. Either way, this is one of those moments where I root for whichever team has not won a Super Bowl. So Cincinnati is now my person.
Yeah, no, I'm here for it. I like that. It's kind of fun. My buddy and I will for NBA and NFL before the year, we'll always be like, what's our extra team?
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually he's a Pats fan.
Yeah.
So like he's a Pats fan, I'm a Colts fan, but we'll like pick another team to root for.
Nice. Pats fans I respect if they're still Pats fans. But if Brady
I know,
left,
even after all the cheating, I can't.
If you dealt with those years when it was like they were the worst teams, and if you dealt with the early Pats from the Drew Bledsoe Pats,
right.
then you deserve you deserve.
I don't know. I mean, he's my age. He's a year older, so like he's been blessed with Brady all this time.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But his dad's from the East Coast.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you can't help it if you're born into a dynasty. But if it's
I know. But he'll still watch every Tampa Bay game.
Yeah,
because of Brady. But he's not a Tampa Bay fan.
There we go.
He's a Brady fan,
and he's still a Patriots
but
fan,
he's
right?
Still, exactly.
That's all I asked for.
And that killed me
when
everybody starts wearing like half Colts, half Broncos jerseys when Peyton went there. I'm like, what are you doing?
Bobby Knight, Texas Tech stuff. I still tease them when we start to win. IU was doing well, and the people that were all like, we don't support IU anymore, and they was wearing the Texas Tech. That's Bloomington. I still look them in the eye. Dudes at work. I'd be like, oh, you got your IU back, huh? Where's your Texas Tech stuff at?
I love that. Yeah, Red Raiders.
Yeah. Like, yeah, where's that at? I'm not that type of fan.
No, not at all. Yeah, I'm Colts and Pacers through and through. I mean, grew up in Indy
all day.
Yeah. Do you have a baseball or hockey? Since you grew up in Indy too, I'm curious. Do you have a baseball or hockey team?
Baseball. Weirdly enough, when I my first job when I left college was in Chicago, and I lived in Wrigleyville, and it was
that's a
and it was the Bartman year.
Oh, man.
That was my first time ever watching baseball. So I kind of have an affinity for the Cubs just because that was my first time ever watching baseball in my life. I had my first time out of college going to a city. I was lived in Wrigleyville during that time.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call myself a fan. I just that's the first time the team that I watched for the first time and got into their fan lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Dude, Bartman he's got such a raw deal, man.
Yeah, he did.
That poor guy.
Boy, that's when I knew that was when I understood baseball fans a little bit better. That was funny.
They're making death threat and he's not the only one reaching out. There's tons of people all around him reaching out.
Boy, they did not give any of that. It was himself.
Yeah.
They was about to kill that dude. They was gonna kill that dude.
Was that another doctor? It was a 30 for 30, I think. That
about Bartman.
He's still in hiding.
Oh yeah, he went to the Caribbean or somewhere the next day. I was like, he had money though. I mean, he had money. I was like, that's some privilege. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd have been nervous over somebody's house. You know what I mean? He got to go to the Caribbean.
Yeah. You're just going over to your best friend's basement.
Imagine that. Like if that was you, you'd have to pick a friend's house to go over.
Yeah.
And you'd have to trust them not to tell on you because the whole city's looking for you. If that was Bloomington, who's your hideout person? You mess up IU's 6 banners somehow. This whole town's looking for Jordan Davis.
That's tough. I mean, it's so my buddy Tim, he's got an apartment. I'd probably go to Lovey's just for the space. You know what I mean? Lovey's out in Ellisville. He's got a decently sized house.
He ain't gonna talk.
Exactly.
He ain't gonna talk. That's most important. Is he's not gonna talk to make sure they.
Well, if something happens to me, he's got to pick up all my slack of the moose. So he's got incentive to keep me safe.
He does. That's fair. Good man. Good call.
Yeah. How about you?
In this town, who could I count on to just keep it tight? It'd probably be my boy Derek. His kids if it happened, assuming wins. So he's got one young girl who's. I
like how you're
16.
I'm going to pick the guy that has a family that he wants to keep safe. So I'm going to go.
Yeah, just somebody. He's been my dude since 4th grade.
I know.
Yeah,
but
I don't trust his kids. I don't know if I can trust his kids. I trust him. That's what I'm saying.
Say he's got kids, so he won't rat me out because he doesn't know if I can trust his kids.
They might be at school. You know what I mean?
Darren's over here trying to use people's kids as a shield.
Probably be Derek if I could think of. He's got a 16-year-old daughter who's about to be out the house. If she's out, for sure. It's my dude, Derek Jingles. We've been friends, 4th grade, went to Japan together, went to high school, college. It's not often you get that type of friend, all the way through.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
Okay. I like that.
More than likely. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, he wouldn't. And he's low key too. He was in Millennium, live by, chill, just a chill. Yeah, he ain't bothering nobody.
I like that. I'm going to start asking people this.
I like that. If you need a hideout spot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, who's your hideout?
For the whole town. For you are Bartman now. You did something to mess up IU's banner, and they looking. I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Man, where's Jordan now? You seen Jordan?
Yeah. I loaned him my speakers. He never gave them back to me.
You know how. Listen, you mess up the whole IU like some sort of technical foul.
Yeah,
something
right.
bad that happens.
Yeah, I get some floor seats. I say something to a ref.
Do something.
IU gets teed up.
Yep.
We lose to Purdue because of it. Yeah.
I'll be like, oh man, you can come still.
Now you got me paranoid to go to an IU game again.
Listen, just
because I like to get mouthy.
Man, is it allowed? I don't know if it's like I've never sat floor. Like I've never in any. I loved IU and I love the Pacers, but I've never sat floor in any like basketball game while they're playing. But I've always imagined like how if I'm anything like I am when I'm at my house, I don't know if I'm supposed to sit on the floor.
Right.
I think that's probably God's will.
I mean, I know I've got a buddy who sits on the floor, and I mean he's mouthy, and he'll get warnings and stuff. And so I've sat in. They've got a row of chairs across from the benches on the floor.
Okay.
Then there's like 5 benches.
Okay.
That are like 2 through 6, whatever, And I've sat in the row 2s, so the ref could hear me if I wanted. If I wanted to. Yeah. But I've never gotten like that loose at a game. You know what I mean?
Because I'll just be happy to be sitting. I don't know. I can't. How much money do you think? Do you know how much it costs?
So, I mean, for the IU stuff, you've got to just you got to buy tickets to all the different sports and get these points. Like that's the whole booster club. It's more than just like giving them out. Like you're donating money every year, paying for the tickets, like all this stuff that goes into that.
How much money do you think is it a year to donate? 40,
dude, I
30?
don't even know, man. I'm
curious. I'm
curious. It's not cheap. But what I want to do, because my buddy in Indy, his construction company got great tickets for a Pacers game. It was that Nets game I went to.
Yeah.
And those were like, what row was that? Like 8th row? And that was amazing. And I'm like, dude, man, I was a little higher than that. But I want to do floor. I want like front row floor at a Pacers game. And I was trying to look it up. And for like a regular season game, it's like $3,000.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, I'm not.
That's why I know that's like a Pacers game. That's a $3,000 like per game. And I guess if you got it like that,
still seems
40 games?
Steep to me. I was thinking it'd be like 700-800.
No. Like I wish I'd have done it if it was that. Let me see. I'm doing the math on.
I'm just thinking like I've got to have some connection somewhere that there's some shitty Monday night game, that there's some open floor seats,
and then I don't want to go to. It's not shitty when it's my Pacers.
Yeah, and obviously my brother with the matching license plate would be the first person I ask.
Oh boy,
we're the only 2 Pacers license plates in town.
I believe that.
I don't think I've ever seen another one.
I don't think I have either. It's
so cute when we park next to each other behind Root Cellar. It's adorable. We're matching.
There's a. Did you watch last night's game by chance?
No, I don't have Bally, man.
Oh, okay. Well, it's hard right now.
Tyrese we've lost every game since Tyrese went
even
out.
the teams like they didn't have Jokic playing, like Jamal Murray wasn't playing. It's hard to. I mean, they fought hard. And I think the good part is about this losing streak is TJ McConnell is like leveling up.
That's good.
In the middle of this.
McConnell, man, he's scrappy, man.
Yeah, man, he's a dog.
He's always been underrated, but
he's a dog.
He plays to the moment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He doesn't no moment's too big for him.
Man, that shot is ugly, and I hate to see him shoot it. But now he's actually like in the last he had 100% game in the losing streak. He has been the bright spot to see. Because he's an older player. He's got to be, I don't know, I'm saying maybe late 20s, early 30s. Yeah.
Where we got him from 76ers?
Yeah, we did,
Yeah.
But he's been I've watched him level up the last, which will help you as the year goes on when we get Tyrese back.
Right,
so,
you got to find the silver linings. We're losing these games, but these guys that normally aren't getting minutes are getting minutes, developing their game more.
Our problem's the 4. I think Jalen Smith is not. I won't say disappointment. I think when I saw him play last year, he was hooping out so hard, the threes and driving, and we knew we got him on a deal. He took a lower deal to be here,
right?
But it's not at the 4 spot. We've got a young dude, Isaiah Jackson, but then I think Jalen Smith. We were hoping to get a little bit more out of him this year.
Syracuse. Isaiah Jackson,
he's the 19-year-old. He's our only alley-oop guy. It's funny to see the Pacers throw lobs.
Syracuse.
Yeah, it might have been.
But that's I don't know, man. It sucks. I haven't been able to watch again. You have to get Bally.
Man,
and then I'm also not home usually when the games are
I got you.
I'm always bingo's going on 3 nights a week.
I make them turn it on if I can when I'm ever if they got the game.
But that's what I mean is most of the places I'm out at don't even have it. I mean, I've caught some at Kalau.
Yeah, it's like how's Cloud treating you? You been all right there?
It's all right, man. We're trying. We had it so steady and really, really good, and then it's just kind of tapered off a little bit. But so we moved it back to the club because they did the same for you, right?
Yeah.
Moving from the front to the back.
Yeah.
Because we started there, but like people would walk. It's before they tinted the windows. People would walk by, be like, "Oh, nobody's in there,"
Yeah,
but we'd be in the back.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So
to us.
we moved it to the front, and that worked.
Same. I told them the same thing. The same for me.
Got it rolling. We were packing it out, and then upstairs started doing their music video bingo right when we do it at
Upstairs
Pub.
Oh, who's the bingo person?
DJ Unique.
Who's that? I know that name. I just can't think.
Matt Englert.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right on.
So he's a buddy of mine. We've talked about it, but and it's a whole different concept of how to do bingo. It's not what I'm doing.
Okay, but it's still bingo.
But it's still bingo for prizes
I get you.
at the same time on the same night.
I get you.
But it's I don't think it's directly because of that, but we also like kids love when you have like a Pink Whitney fridge, Two-Hearted something or other, a Yeti cooler.
Yeah.
Like you have to have big badass prizes.
Yeah.
Like even a gift cards just don't get them like riled up that much.
Yeah.
And it's like now Brothers, we pack that thing out every single week. And
What day
that's
is
just
that?
gift cards. And they'll do the last 2 weeks they've done like a high noon neon sign.
Once your shit becomes like a thing that is known what you do, that's what you want. This is what we do on this day.
When you know that there's going to be other people, the big thing, especially with bingo, because it's kind of like silly.
Yep.
That like it's just hype bingo.
Yeah.
And it's like you're getting hype over something that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
But like you have to have that shared experience.
Yep.
So there has to be other people there. If there's not other people there, then it's just kind of weird.
Yep.
If it's only like 3 tables.
Yep. It's the back room at Kalau right now. And it's one of those where for me, karaoke is community and the back room doesn't promote community like the front room does. You feel me?
Right.
Like I'd rather have it packed. I'd rather have the front room of Kalau is actually probably bigger than Root Cellar's whole space downstairs. It's probably like if you just think about places like I'm talking about square footage. Like if you look at
it's more open.
Yeah, like I'm talking about if you could take like sit as many people. I bet you Root Cellar on probably fits when they're packed in that downstairs room. I guess 75. I could be wrong about that, but like 75.
Are we
100.
talking like those back rooms too?
I mean, most people aren't even in those. Usually by the time it's usually just those front, like the one with the
downstairs.
No one's
and
ever in that usually.
Steps back over there, and then maybe some people sitting at that like up top bar.
But yeah, like if you pack that front room, that's more valuable to me, and also. It's community. That's like a lot of times, I don't know. You do karaoke for a while. You got a lot of people that own bars, and they got to do their thing, and they're gonna pay me no matter what. So I'm gonna do what they say.
Right.
But if it's there's tiny details to karaoke that people often overlook that matter. Like when you go there, it's not just singing songs with your friends. You're bonding with the people over the song. So having a screen where they can read the words is very helpful.
Right.
Because then you've got everyone in the room singing the words with the singer.
Yeah, exactly.
The back room doesn't have that, and I miss that. And it's also harder to control people because that stage means people want to act crazy, boy.
I know. Well, it's like, oh man, I'm on stage.
Yeah,
most people don't get that opportunity.
Or they want to be on stage and it's not time for them to be on stage, or they just want to keep like the person who lies and says their name is the name of a person.
Oh, dude.
Oh God, man! There's so many things you guys ends up the vibe becomes more of a police officer vibe because of the stage
instead of just being loose, having fun, you can't do your job because you're focusing on bullshit.
I'm taking care. Yeah, I'm trying to keep people from spilling drinks all over the place and like getting on stage you're not supposed to, or like coming up with the same group of kids every time. So it's like it's easier to do from the front room.
You posted something a couple weeks ago when it was packed back there, talking about how just kind of cool it is to be. It sounds bad. Be your age. But I feel the same thing. When I'm rocking Brothers out, it's like kind of weird being 33. They're all 21. But like
it's the time of their lives, man. I like to look at it.
It's fun. It makes you feel young. And like just to be like I still got it. I can still
I don't got that. I'd be like
no, in the sense of music? Like you can work the crowd with the music. You know what I mean?
That yes.
I love that's what I mean by I still got it. I don't know what you're thinking.
No. It's just far as and it's always learned. Like I like to go to other DJs' stuff so I can like pick up on songs that make people like songs that move a crowd.
Yeah,
that are different than what I know.
I never knew to use back when we did it because we did bingo at KOK for a couple of years when we were doing sports, so we had both. And with a manager there told me about Miley Cyrus The Climb.
Yeah.
And I had no idea about it. And I remember the first time I played it, I'm like, man, this is so slow. This dude, like, he's just messing with me. Like, there's no way. And then you just start to hear everyone start singing along, and then it gets to the chorus. And so that one always kills. 22 by Taylor Swift kills because there's a bunch of 22-year-olds or about to be 22-year-olds. Year 3000 by the Jonas Brothers.
Yes.
The one I've been The one I've been getting on lately is "Before He Cheats" by Carrie
Oh yeah,
Underwood.
that's the most popular karaoke
You would
song.
think that these 21-year-old women have gone through like the worst heartbreaks 5 times. They are belting that thing like they've been screwed over time and time again.
That is the #1 karaoke song for the last 10 years running.
Was it really?
It is right now. Yeah,
Huh.
100%. Like, but the software I keeps track of like what song was sung the most.
Yeah.
And "Before He Cheats" is by far the most popular karaoke song of the last 10 years.
Interesting.
Like, but it would have been like Bohemian Rhapsody or maybe "Don't Stop Believin'" years before that. But without a doubt, it is "Before He Cheats" currently.
Okay.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's like
well,
that's-
what's like some of the other top 5?
Well, of course, you still have your "Don't Stop Believing," your Bohemian Rhapsody, Amy Valerie,
Dude, yeah.
American Boy by Kanye West and Estelle. Which,
That's
which,
I randomly DJ Unique was actually giving me a hard time because Spotify as a whole went out 2 Fridays ago.
Yeah.
Like just stopped working.
Okay.
And I thought it was something on my end, but it was fine. I just ended up switching over to Tidal because Tidal works through my Serato.
Yeah.
And so when I DJ,
Nice. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So I can access when I
That's
DJ
awesome.
and have Serato open, I can access anything on Tidal.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's the only reason I have it. And thankfully I had it because I just switched over that and everything's gravy, you know. And we're at Fairfax where it's a much more laid back.
Oh yeah, Fairfax,
Older
McKinley.
folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been great, dude. We've done 3 now and it's been
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good. I like that.
growing
What night
every
are you
week.
doing?
Huh?
Are you doing bingo or DJ?
Bingo. Well, so I DJ'd the Halloween party,
Okay.
but we've been doing bingo the last 3 Fridays.
That's awesome.
And 7:30, 9:30, and we're gonna run it hopefully through the end of March until Food Truck Friday starts back
Okay.
up. Then I got to stop.
Okay.
Obviously, you
Yeah.
know.
You think about having somebody? I mean,
My
you ever-
buddy Tim might rock it because
Yeah.
he does every bingo with me.
Yeah.
And has for years.
Okay.
He came on when I was at KOK.
Right on.
And it helps, man, because when you're on that mic and you have no one to talk to in between games, because we'll do a game, take a break, you've seen it,
Yeah.
and like you're just sitting there and just like in a room full of college kids and just like, I'm going to look at my phone. Okay,
Yep.
no messages.
Yep.
What's on the TV? And then you're just kind of sitting there like feeling like a jabroni.
Okay.
So when you have your buddy there,
Yeah.
it's just, it
Makes a
keeps
whole
you
difference.
loose.
Oh,
It
yeah.
keeps you relaxed. You're just hanging out. And then you're getting paid to chill.
Yeah.
And then like be goofy. You
That's
know, we're
my,
making dumb jokes.
Zach at Upstairs is that for me. He used to come to Bear's place with me, and it started off as just, can I just hang out in the booth with you? And then be
Yeah.
that. And I was like, yeah, man, well, I don't know. He was like, again, someone to
Yeah.
talk to while we're discussing. But, yeah.
That's funny because I remember going to Bears. I stopped going because there was always so many young kids, and I
we
like
can
could
talk about
not
that
handle
too.
it anymore.
We can talk about that too.
Yeah.
We can talk about that whole Bears thing. So that's a
Okay.
thing
Yeah.
itself.
Let's circle back to that. But
Um,
that's I don't know. I don't want to talk too much smack about them. But I drove by the other day with some people. I was like, you know what? I don't know.
No.
I didn't have. It just wasn't. It didn't hit for me. The later years did not hit for me.
It was when Dave left. It went to the Dave Grace was a good manager, but it's the trick that a lot of these like I'm gonna say this on this air. You might have to cut this one, but I'm gonna say it. That a lot of the bar owners, the like the Yogis and the Bears, they have these buildings that are falling apart, and the hustle was to sell it to like out of town people who just want a bar. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah.
On the last end of their leg that don't live in town, that don't
Right.
know about it that well, and Bears got like that. Yogis same thing.
Yeah, that was old Yogis. Like they weren't doing that bad, but there was a ton of money that needed to be put in that
man.
building. And IU sitting there like, here you go.
Yeah. It's so weird.
And that was just
Yeah.
sitting there in storage. I thought they were going to tear it down and that'd be fine, but to still just drive by it, still just as a building, you're just like, what could be?
Yeah.
We could still be hanging out there.
Oh man, I missed. I mean, that was my very first bar love.
I lived right behind it.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
then my first beer ever ordered when I was 21 was a Hop Slam there. I went in on my birthday,
Oh,
January. I changed the date while we were
Yeah.
talking.
I see it over there.
And and Hop Slam always comes out mid-January, and that was my spot, man. I get done with bartending shifts at O'Charlie's.
Yeah.
Because I started bartending like 5 days after I turned 21.
Yep.
They moved to serve to bartender. And so I'd get done, go to Yogi's, slam like 4 or 5 beers, walk through the alley, and I'm home.
Right
And that
home.
was my spot, man. And then I ended up actually waiting tables there like 3 lunches a week.
Oh, that's love.
So that was my second hustle alongside O'Charlie's.
Yeah, man, I used to love that. That was like also sidebar. I tried O'Charlie's steak for the first They're just like in the last couple of weeks, amazing. Best cheap steak. Like
just sirloin?
Yeah, man. It was the Cajun one
Louisiana.
with the
yeah, buddy. I was gonna say Louisiana sirloin. That's not cheap though. That's like $19.
I mean, for you're not eating like the $30 thing. For me, like
19, I guess is cheap.
Against like the Malibu 30 or the that's usually my Cajun steak.
45.
Yeah.
I mean, the Elm one I had was 55.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So 19, and it's like that's a big boy, like 14-ounce sirloin.
Oh man,
and it's got that Cajun butter on it
with the onion. See,
dude, I got a big old soft spot in my heart for O'Charlie's, man. Not as a corporation, but as like
the food. Yeah, I mean, their tenders are still people still talk about the tenders.
The honey mustard.
Yeah, man.
The rolls.
Yeah, man. The bartender that was there forever, he just left. He was working there for like 15 years. He was always a daytime bartender.
Chris?
Yeah.
Chris Acton?
Yeah, that's a dude.
Yeah. So Chris and I would rock out. So my buddy George, he's been on the podcast, and his birthday's today too. We share a birthday.
Happy birthday.
And we used to, happy birthday, George. We used to live together for a bit, but like him and I would rock out Friday nights, and it would be great. Because one of us, like, we were just a great tag team.
Yeah.
And normally one person's in that mood that they want to chat up everyone at the rail. And sometimes you're in that mood where you just want to do the tickets for the dining room.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And so we would always just bounce and tag team. And Chris, I got to work a lot with Chris on like Saturday nights. George and I would think like the three of us would alternate. But that dude, I love Chris, man. He always wanted to open a diner. And it was always just like, man, when I get a diner, when I buy it, like, you're coming to run it.
Oh, nice.
And he would always have like he'd always be showing off the new energy drink he was having, you know what I mean? And just sweating bullets.
The energy drink guy. I know that guy.
He's just such a positive, cool dude.
Yeah, man. And
I didn't know he left. That's sad.
I went there the daytime because I found that Louisiana steak. I got it DoorDash. I was hungry, like late night, I'm trying to do low carb. Was like, let's I'm gonna do, have a steak.
DoorDash and O'Charlie's.
I did, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
It made me go. I've had it twice since. What else has been delicious in town? I know we're supposed to be talking about food too.
No, we're gravy, man. We got time. Got time.
I recommend the El Pacifico at the new Mexican
Riviera Maya.
Man, it's a bacon wrapped shrimp with cheese and jalapeno. So they take the shrimp, they put it on a skewer. It's wrapped in bacon with jalapeno, cheese on a bed of vegetables. You can do rice too, but not rice, but it is rice. And it's pricey in that it's $20, right? It's like, but you are getting you leave with the feeling that you just spent a good $20. I do not regret a dime. I've had it like 5 times. The place just opened up.
So I've gone once, and I finally made it over there before an IU game, actually, the Morehead State game. And I go, my buddy and I go. Do you know Andrew Hot Dog? He used to have the hot dog cart nowhere Andrews that had mac and cheese hot dogs and mashed potato and gravy hot dogs.
Delicious, but no.
Okay. Anyway, we went to Riviera Maya. The salsa was like, I mean, it was pretty standard, but it could have definitely had more flavor.
Yeah, salsa. Okay.
But then we ordered the like dinner for two fajitas.
Okay.
And someone actually just posted about it like a day or two ago in the foodies group. And they said exactly what I would like. It's like $32.
Yeah.
But bro, it is man. Like there was left. You could have fed a family of 5. Easy. And it was like, it had chorizo, chicken, steak, shrimp, and then like you want more tortillas, they just run and grab like not extra, like sour cream. And so you're just loading up. Next thing you know, you had 6 fajita tacos. And then you're still left with like 3 pounds of meat to take home.
Yes.
It's the best $32 value out there. Because, you're like $32 for heat.
Yep. The same thing.
And then you see it. Yeah. And you see it like, oh, okay.
Like that's why I do it places like Elm, but I'm like I'm a
value.
I like to feel full. You know what I mean? That's what you mean. Like some people don't like feeling full. That's like you talking about a drug. Like that is nothing like that feeling of you just ate. Where's that piece at?
Yeah. We didn't order it.
You didn't order it?
No,
at least I know that. I've been over here waiting for this whole time. I'm like, it's still walking down the aisle until we just got this voice.
So I got the Maxwell playing.
No.
Well, he's got 32 minutes.
You have 30 minutes.
Do you want to run across the street to Wendy's for anything?
I'm gonna be cool. I hadn't planned on eating until we talked about
get you a baconator.
I might in 15. I might say like I might get to run over there before it's too loud. Man, that sounded good.
Yeah, you're all good. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
but now that threw my whole brain off because my brain was so ready for that damn
that
pizza.
Munchie Madness.
Yes.
Well, it's probably better. The second half would have just been us making like eating noises.
Oh,
so
that
maybe
is it? What is that? The sound of it, just the crunch of the pan pizza.
Dude, we tried the last episode we were recording was Najee was so for cafe, and she brought some hummus and stuff. And so after we were done, Garrett and I sat down and we're like gonna try to do an episode, like a side dish, because every Monday we're doing a main course with like a guest like this one, and then Thursdays it'll be like a 30-minute episode called a side dish.
Okay.
And so we were going to do the one like introducing him, and it just turned into us just smashing hummus and just like being making just weird noises. And we get done, I was like, dude, I don't think we can use that for anything. We're like,
Nah, just the sound of us eating hummus.
Yeah, and she made some like Turkish delights.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Oh man, I was glad she posted some pictures that they had a busy brunch today or yesterday, and that made me very happy.
What do you eat there that you like for the brunch stuff?
So it's a buffet, but like there's like eggs.
The one that's across from
For the chocolate mousse?
Yeah. It must have changed. When I went when they first opened up.
They just reopened. They didn't always have the brunch buffet.
Okay. I'm down for a brunch buffet.
But dude, they've been closed for a while.
Okay.
And they just reopened.
I heard I mean, brunch buffet.
Dude, well,
When I heard those two words together, I said,
yeah, that's since Golden Corral. That's the last time you could get a brunch
buffet.
Yeah.
I heard of BB. I like that much as Butterfinger BBs.
Yeah.
Man.
Man, yeah, that's Golden Corral's the last place you used to do that. And that was it was always an adventure in Golden Corral, but that was the one thing that I do miss. And I guess the best one's in Bedford, I guess.
Yeah, so when I worked at O'Charles, everybody would be like, if I said Golden Corral, they're like, you got to go to the one
That's
in
what everyone
Bedford.
says to me. I ain't been yet.
You got to go to. So I went at least once, maybe twice, and it was really good. But I want to really go with the intention of experiencing it. Like I think the one time I went was like just kind of wham bam in and out. Like I want to talk to the lady with the hairnet.
I
want to hear her
have a whole
story.
thing.
You know she's got some one-liners.
Oh yeah, the industry people.
It's like one
Industry
meatloaf in the
Bedford.
barn is a chicken in the coop. It's like what? Like, I don't like it, but it makes it taste better. I'm here for it.
There's the industry people of Bedford. Yeah, I would like. I've not. When you go, if you ever do a brunch, let me know because I'm yet to do that myself.
Really good breakfast brunch, Brown County Inn.
Brown County. I do weddings there. I've never.
Yeah.
Like I've done weddings. I host karaoke there. Isn't that weird?
At Brown County Inn?
Yeah. Like years and years ago. That's funny.
It was like a day that I had to open our Nashville store and something was wrong with me, so I was early.
Okay.
And I just popped
Wandered over there?
Yeah. So I popped over to Brown, and it was great, man. I mean, it wasn't expensive. They had everything you want, even like a little cereal bar.
Okay.
It was French toast, pancakes. I think they might have even had grits. Like it was good.
Sometimes something that I like that I only get when I'm at breakfast brunch, like buffets that I don't ever make myself, is Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
I never get it unless it's at the menu on that thing.
I don't normally pull out my phone during these, but I need to show you this. So Small Favors is doing lunch now. Have you been to Small Favors yet?
I've heard.
Oh, Darren, my man, you need.
But the name is Small Favors. Is it small plates?
No, I'll show you this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's So Nick is insanely talented. He's like the owner, head guy, but like he also enables like the staff to like do things like get creative, and they take risks.
Okay.
And sometimes it won't pay off, but a lot of the time it doesn't. When it does, it's like the best Scotch egg I've ever had. Literally, I had the best bacon I've ever had. Look at this stuff.
Listen, straight up. You see what you're looking at right there?
Straight up, now tell me, do you know?
Fairfax, they stopped making it. They were making their own bacon that looked just like that. They just stopped doing it. They're going to do it for my birthday. It was the best burger I've had in Bloomington, period.
So my first thought, so we didn't order that. I don't even think it was on the menu, but Nick brought it out. Like, here, guys, try this bacon. And he's like, we got juniper crushed up on it.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. And the first thing I said is, have you made a burger with this?
Yes.
Like this, like a really good burger, like a feast burger, like a thick boy, not a smash.
Yep.
Like a thick boy burger with that bacon would be just absolutely unreal. Oh, here's the other thing I got on their lunch menu. It'll be too late by the time this episode comes out, but through the end of the month, they're doing half off all their menu for lunch.
Small Favors?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
6 in Madison.
This
was one of their lunch menu items. It's just called a ham plate, and it's got ham and greens and deviled eggs and cornbread. That's a lunch menu item.
Is that cream pie? Is that a Hoosier? Is that the Hoosier?
The sugar cream pie? No. There's no pie there. What are you talking about?
What's that?
That's cornbread.
Oh, okay.
Cornbread, deviled eggs. There was like some kraut, and there's just like really good ham.
Man,
What?
So. Let me just get close.
Don't go sliding too much, mate.
No, trust me. Trust me. You know me. I'm not. I'm
just.
No. You listen. When you had my phone for a second, I was like, I know how that is. All right. So one of the things I look for is if I can see seasoning. If I see a picture of a plate and I don't see no pepper or this is a black people thing. Like if I can look at this, like, and I don't see any seasoning on anything, then I get nervous.
Okay, I get it. The deviled eggs, could have had paprika on them.
Even just like the greens, I'm looking around for like my signature. Those are greens, right? Are those greens?
Yeah. Okay, all right. Go try it.
I will try. I'm always down.
It has my full recommendation.
I'll be talking
about. You see the seasoning on the bacon though.
The bacon was right.
Yeah,
the bacon. Look, that the bacon's right. I mean, that bacon's right. Yeah, that bacon is right.
I showed it to my buddy who like pretty much only eats bacon and fries because he's got he's like a super taster type thing. And I was like, bro, like I found the best bacon. Like I was so excited to show him. And he looks at he's like, that's a ham steak. That's not bacon. I'm like, okay, sorry for trying to. I got excited for you.
Yeah. Like don't care what you. That's delicious. They were doing it. They were making their own bacon at Fairfax, but I guess the process of making it and trying to sell enough of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's the hard part, but God, boy.
So since we started doing bingo there, this is not because they pay me to do bingo there. It's not because I'm buddies with McKinley. The best meatloaf I've ever had in my life.
I agree. I think it's better than Uptown's.
Yeah.
And Uptown's is known as like the one in town.
Uptown's is good. No, my favorite before that was on Wednesdays, Fat Dan does meatloaf.
Oh,
on Wednesdays only.
Didn't know that, okay.
And it's really, really good, but it's almost a little too greasy, which is saying something coming from me.
Yeah, I get you.
But Fairfax is just like it has that smoky flavor. It's just the right amount of grease.
Yep.
And the sauce is the best. One of my biggest pet peeves that just is when people think that meatloaf sauce is just ketchup. It's like no. It's not just ketchup.
No.
There's like brown sugar in there. Like,
There's things in there. There's things in there.
Yeah, people are like, just ketchup, same thing. And then they act like I'm the crazy one.
No, it should be a little bit more than
that's going to be a whole side dish. I'm going to go on a dialogue.
But I do like theirs on the side. I do like because it's barbecue sauce and the meat is so good. I don't need as much. I think
they put the perfect amount for me. It's a little back, just like you're doing ketchup on a hot dog.
Yep,
which some people that might anger, but mustard, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Sauce on just a little back forth.
When I told people to try it, I say get it on the side, and if you want it on there, then you can always say you can put it on there how you like it. Because I think that for me, I like when it comes if their meat is so good. And it is so good. That's what I mean. It's so good that I don't.
It's like A1 on a nice steak.
Yeah, all I would need is just the crust on it. You know what I mean? That's when the meatloaf is like when you just get it on the crust. That's all I really need for that because the meat's so good. But for them, they spray it like a sandwich. Like you know what I mean?
I get it. I like the sauce is what makes that meatloaf to the next level. Is that like that perfect sauce?
We definitely agree on it being like when they started doing that meatloaf. I was like, y'all, everyone need to try. That's the burger and the meatloaf for the two things.
I mean, I was talking to McKinley about it because the chef or cook had told me like, we're taking that off, and I was with McKinley. I'm never coming back to do bingo.
Man,
if you take that off,
they're talking about the meatloaf.
Yeah, but no, I talked to McKinley. He's like, it's not going anywhere. But he told me because I told him I was like, dude, this is the best meatloaf I've ever had.
I told him the same thing. I told him the same thing about the burger. Maybe we need to stop telling him that. Maybe we need to tell him it sucks.
No, well, it's staying. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's make it. Yeah, that's what we need to do.
But it's
damn.
He said that he just made it for fun one time because of extra stuff he had, and everybody probably like you told him how good it was, so he put it on the menu. But now, when I first got it 3 weeks ago, it was like an entree.
It is,
slice,
yeah.
But now they serve it as a sandwich, which was really good though. It was really good.
You hear my breath on this, man.
I know. I could see that look on your face.
Like, why are you messing? Like, I get it, and I don't mind.
I think it's because like as the entree, you would pick like two sides. They just got rid of a ton of the sides. The only sides now are like onion rings, chips, and like a side salad.
They got rid of the green beans too.
Yeah, green beans, mac and cheese. I know. Well, so my guess is that it's just for the winter. Okay. I would assume when they pick back up that they're gonna bring back some tater salad.
That's rough.
Some green beans.
Yeah. It's just consistency. Like, it is when you go, like, if I travel that far to get it, you know what I mean? Well, it's a hike.
But that's a seasonal business down there.
Yeah, it definitely
so
is.
So it's like, because we have to adapt. Like at the Moose, we don't have Spanish burgers in the winter because we can't make sure we serve a good, consistent Spanish burger because we don't sell enough.
But is your Spanish burger? I mean, but that's like your second. Like people come for your ice cream. Is your Spanish burger?
But there's old timers
that want that Spanish burger.
Dude, the Spanish burger outdates the stand. It was around from Maze Cafe.
Okay.
So from 33 to 55, it was Maze Cafe.
Yeah.
And then the Penguin stand was opened in the parking lot of Maze Cafe.
All right.
And the Spanish Burger goes back to Maze. So the Spanish Burger is
part of the history. It's older than I get it.
Yeah, and so we don't sell it at the Nashville store, but like there would be riots if we ever got rid of it at the Walnut store.
I figured. I know you sold it. I just thought of it like kind of like the historic, like we do this, but I know you was making it enough to where if you didn't do it during the wintertime, that's one thing. But like that meatloaf is so good. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean the Spanish Burger is almost like a meatloaf.
Yeah.
I mean it's a baked.
I've never had it.
beef.
I should have it sometime.
Yeah, it's great. You gotta.
I know of it. You know, it's town stuff.
Here's how you do it if you get it. You gotta get American cheese on it and light relish. That's it.
Okay.
It already has a little coney sauce and it's baked in a tomato sauce. Because, dude, people don't understand. Like, we pay money to One World Kitchen Share to go make the coney sauce and the Spanish burgers.
Yeah.
Like, that's made in-house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Up the street.
Yeah.
And that coney sauce, I think we want to put on, we've talked about it for a while, doing a Food Truck Friday and making it a Sug Fest.
What's a sug?
Like, sugging on a chili dog, Jack and Diane.
That's funny. I got you.
And like making it and having like a John Mellencamp cover band.
That's funny. That's pretty good. See, you always got good marketing ideas. You've always been good.
Trying.
Yeah, you do good at that. You always have. That's awesome. Sug Fest. That's Smooth at the Back Door loves. She does. She's the every time I think of that, she does that's the song she does in karaoke.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I'm in a sucking on a
sucking on chili. Ever since that came out, that's what she does. Yeah. Sucking on
dude,
chili
Jack,
dog.
that's I was talking about bangers for the college crowd. That's a banger for the Fairfax crowd.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I let my buddy Tim DJ for the Fairfax crowd. Because like I could do it, but like that's his wheelhouse too.
Like
so
when you look at your crowd, you know the stuff that's gonna make them be like, yes,
oh yeah. So he's playing like Choctaw Bingo and you know Kenny Chesney, and all that fun stuff. And
I need to get those chops up. Zach got me on the pop. What's it called? Pop punk. So like the Weezer, the Blink 182, the Wheatus, like that genre of music. I was completely blind to until like working with Zach, and like trying and like him being like watching him, like I can push the buttons in hip hop and I can push the buttons on like R&B and I can push the buttons on most pop. Yeah. But like that particular genre, that stuff, I didn't know anything. And now I know to drop Island Weezer.
Island of the Sun.
Yeah, like, you know, just like certain things.
Well, one of my karaoke songs is Say It Ain't So.
Yeah. Blink, like all that stuff. It's like now I know I can look at a room and know when to drop those.
When to play it. What about like Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card, or
Yellow
the
Card
Anthem by Good Charlotte.
Yep.
Those are ones I got on the bingo playlist. And I don't play those every week.
Yeah, I know when to do
those. Those are ones where like you feel it out, you throw it in there. But Stacy's Mom, that slaps every time. That hits every time.
Got it going on. That is always.
We've been doing Metalworks on Thursday, 6 to 8.
Oh, okay.
So I do a doubleheader on Thursdays now. 6 to 8 Metalworks, 8:30, 10:30 Brothers.
Okay.
And we actually had 16 people for this last one, which is good. We're growing Metalworks. Because I'm trying to get people our age that don't want to go out to
late
Brothers,
night,
with kids out to 11.
What time are you doing that?
6 to 8 on Thursdays.
Okay, good to know, because that's that's my day. That's actually my non-karaoke day. And
nice.
Yes, that's actually that's good to know. 6 to 8 on
and it's like, I mean, people hate on Endeavor for various reasons. I've got
Endeavor's which people? That's the joke. That's
the Southern Stone, Feast, Cabello, BB's Market, Allery.
Don't they own that? They own the Italian restaurant downtown too, don't they?
The which one?
The Italian one. The one used to be.
Yeah, Che Bello.
Yeah,
Che Bello. I always say it wrong. I just had their brunch. It was really.
At Che Bello?
Huh?
You had their brunch?
Yeah. No, I made a really bad joke in it. I almost said it earlier when you said hollandaise.
Yeah.
Because like I did their eggs Benny, and then instead of Canadian bacon, I had prosciutto.
Oh.
And it was a pesto hollandaise, and I was like, Christmas was my favorite hollandaise before. Now it's this. It was so bad.
Man.
It was one of those where I'm just like, and I almost said something about like, I'm going to write a letter to Pesto Santa. And like, I asked someone that was working at the Moose, they're like, don't put that. But there was just something funny to me about the concept of like Pesto Santa. I love it.
I didn't, pesto was, the Avers was the first place that made me. I never had pesto till my 30s.
Really?
Yep. It's like it's funny. Like when you grow up a certain way, the palate. You know what I mean? You eat what you eat, and I'm a tourist, so I don't like to venture out. If I already like something, I don't want to pay for something and possibly not like it.
Yeah.
So I have to go over to somebody else's house where it might have been Monica. It might have been Monica straight up. Straight up. Now that I think about it, it might have been Monica. I was just about to say. I was just about to say it might have straight up. It might have been a pesto.
We probably have like 3 giant jars of pesto.
Straight up. It might have been. It might have been the chicken the pesto whatever.
Bears has a Polly Pine Nuts pesto pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Like we get that a lot.
Oh, that's funny, man. I was going back in my banks, like, yeah.
Man, that's
Yeah,
a bad.
it's
That's
Yep.
dude.
It
That's
might have been her.
That's a badge of honor to be like, I introduced that person to pesto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, because everything is, to me, is like ranch is like it's like it has to, like, they're in the spirit of like what goes on things. Ranch has like always been like my what? No, take that back. I didn't eat ranch until college. It was really before then. It was marinara and nacho. You get to college and you find out ranch, and then you start to experiment in other things. But pesto was a brand new sauce.
We don't need to get into that. Like you get to college, start to experiment in other things. Whoa, Darran. This is family friendly, family friendly podcast, buddy. Come on.
Sometimes you come home and find your from old school. Sometimes you catch the late eye from home.
Yeah. Dude, I've mentioned it on here before. One of the like worst lines that I would use is waiting tables at O'Charlie's, and when I'd walk away from the table, be like, God, I hate myself. Yeah. Would be like people would get ranch on everything over there, so they'd like be taking their order. I'd be like, ranch is like Windex and duct tape, works on everything. Har. And they like they ate it up though.
That's funny.
And I'm
That's
just
funny.
like, I'm selling my soul for $1.
Yes,
you know.
I remember that. Where else did you work? You waited tables at Charlie's.
O'Charlie. So when
Yogi's.
I first moved to Bloomington, it was O'Charlie's, and while I was at O'Charlie's, I worked Yogi's. Got fired from Yogi's for sleeping in 2 shifts in a row. A week later, Joe and Glass came into O'Charlie's, and Joe's like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "She's like, I want you to come back. Like, give it 2 weeks. Come back in."
Joanna.
So I got back on at Yogi's. Then ended up quitting because I just wasn't making enough money on lunch.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I was fine with my bartending gig. Then left O'Charlie's for Sweetgrass. And then after Sweetgrass, started Chocolate Mousse and Country Club at the same time.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a little Night Moves DJing snuck in there.
Yeah. I remember those days. The Night Moves days. God, man. You've been every part of this town. When you think about from O'Charlie's to Night Moves, that's a jump. You know what I mean? to like a corporate, now you're doing like the moves. It's like you've traveled the gamut.
Well, then you throw in the bingo gigs and all the party bus and limo driving I did.
Oh yeah.
It's I feel like I've been living life to its fullest.
The undercurrent of this town, I say the industry people, we make like there's the when I was in school here, I didn't know any of the people's names. You know what I mean? Like when you didn't pay attention to them. You were with your people. And now I am one of the, like I get to be like one of the people that like make these nights hum. And I love it, man. It's been years. How long you been doing it? 20 now for you? No, you're 33, so you're 12.
12. I've been in Bloomington 12 years.
12 years.
You get it when you're out and you'll have random college kids be like, karaoke guy.
Yep.
Because I've had that where they'll be like, bingo guy, and they'll be like, I've got it now, clickety click, 66. I'm like, yeah.
If you don't tip, you're an asshole. Or
yeah.
What's the other one?
I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's one of my every night during karaoke. Darran at several points will be like, "Hey, like, shout out to the bar staff, all this. Like, just a quick reminder: if you don't tip," and everybody goes, "You're an asshole," and then you get right back into it. It's so good.
What's funny is I thought my best friend said that to me. Her name was Emily. I wish I could say I made that up. So my friend Emily, we were on the phone and she said that, and I was like, "That's beautiful. I'm going to start saying that."
Yeah.
Turns out that one of our other friends, Jay Moore in Indy, who they do, Jay Moore and Metronome. I don't know if you ever do Hip Hop Tuesdays, or they do Coaches Tuesdays. Man, it's like church. It's like a hip hop church. They do the same thing we do. They just do it with they DJ hip hop. They get different hip hop DJs and they do it at Coaches downtown in Indy, and it's been going on for like 12 years.
But what do you mean the same thing we do?
Like industry people. Like
okay.
like what you do bingo, I do karaoke. It's like we build
that's their thing.
Yeah, that's their thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do they market it as other than like DJing?
Hip Hop
Hip Hop Tuesdays?
Hip Hop Tuesdays or something like that. Hip Hop Tuesdays at church at Coaches, but I just call it church. Yeah, it's people that are
Tuesday night youth group.
Oh yeah, oh man,
Bible study.
Man, it's like that. Like because everyone in there, like they can cut the words to certain hip hop songs, and the whole crowd will just like if they cut to a certain Outcast song.
And they're still doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to go up to that.
You would love it.
Yeah.
You would love it. And so they've got a DJ and they got a mic guy, and the mic guy is where she got it from. So I had to give shout out to Jay Moore on that. I didn't know that until I heard somebody else say it, and I was like, how the fuck they know my shit? And I was because in Indy, and I was like, how the fuck did they know that? And I had to trace it back, and I ended up calling. I was, hey Emily, you know that phrase you said?
Yeah.
And she told me. I was like, oh well,
okay.
shit.
So I got it from them. They didn't get it from me.
Yeah. It was it's Jay Moore and up in Indianapolis. But I heard a kid say on the microphone just Tuesday, was funny. He said, two buttholes and batteries, two things we lick, but we're ashamed to talk about it. Or something like that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, this. I love to hear people's call sign. Every time he gets on the microphone, I guess that's what he says.
Yeah,
I was like, that's funny.
I've heard that one before.
I had never heard that one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, these kids. I mean, call signs on a mic, it's like I guess that here is mine. But I've missed, this town's been good to me as far as karaoke and
you're all
community.
over.
Oh man, I'm getting old though. It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, but it's one of those, like, anytime you tell me how old you are, I'm reminded, like, I don't know, you're so young at heart, and so, like, you know what I mean, like, you're having fun.
It's these mornings. So right now I can do, like, right now I've never needed a whole bunch of sleep, but it's like I don't drink it, like, you know how we get after it in our days.
Yeah.
Like I've just had to put away a lot of I don't get after it as much as I used to. I pick moderation is, what is my word? Everything in moderation, even moderation.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
I
I do
that.
like every now and again I'll go off the fuck moderation tip, but most of the time these days it's like moderation.
Yeah, I just went full blown stop. So
yeah. How's it going for you?
Good. Yeah,
good.
It's crazy, man. It's get a lot done.
I bet you do.
Yeah, everything's better just from like following through with friends that you haven't talked to in a while.
I got you.
Like every relationship for the most part,
Okay.
When we release episode 1, January 30th, that'll be 6 months.
Nice.
It's been good. It's not, I still go out all the time. I'm in the bars, still go out, and it's I go in the alley bar, they pour me a cranberry.
Okay.
They already know what's up.
Yeah.
I still, if I go out to eat, I like to sit at the bar.
Same.
Yeah, it was funny. Last night we were talking about where to go after my birthday dinner, and Garrett's like, I was like talking about what we could do. He's like, man, you're really putting this to a stress test. I was like, bro, I've been like, since I've been doing this whole time, where it's like, it's not, I don't know, it's not a thing. I'm fortunate. I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
Because like I don't have the alcoholism disease.
Yeah, where it's like I gotta do it. I gotta do that. Yeah.
And like that, I'm lucky that I can still go out, and it's not like, oh God, you know what I mean?
Same. I might have a couple, like, for me, there's usually a situational, like if I say I take a break, and there's moments where I might be like, dang, like if I was taking a break and something crazy happened with the Pacers and I want to go out and turn it up. You know what I mean? If but I know that I'm in the middle of a break. It's moments like that are, but never like I work in a bar, so I drink so much soda water.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll soda water, to help.
See, I don't think I could do it if I gave myself any wiggle room. Like that's where it's like, because it's very easy once it's just ruled out.
Yeah.
Once it's just like, okay, it's ruled out. It's dead to you.
Yep.
It's like that. It's not hard for me personally.
Yeah, same.
But if I was like, oh, I'm going to drink once a week, then next thing you know, it's going to be 2 days a week. You know what I mean? But like, just once you just rule it out, and like, if you even have that thought creep in your head of like, oh, last night at dinner, my buddy's like, oh, Jordan, try this. I was like, you got booze in it? And he's like, yeah, I thought you could just take a sip. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's just a thing.
Yeah, it's like,
you know what I mean? Like,
not even on a sip. It's not, just once it's that old school, it feels so good when it hits your lips.
Oh, no,
I
just like, that'd be so funny. I take one sip of White Russian, rip my shirt off, like, let's go! Just like, do this. Yeah, I'm at the like, you guys got Rumple Mints?
Yes. You'll be on this menu, whatever that Schlivitz was. They used to serve.
Schlivitz, sir.
That's called Schlivitz.
Man, your word's right there. It's right there. It's Schlivitz or something. The yogis thing we were talking about. It was like a fig brandy or something.
Yes. Oh, and that was the other one they used to do. They used to do I used to think I was being smooth and get girls framboise.
Framboise. Yeah, that raspberry framboise,
I
bro.
used to be like, if I was talking about like on my pimp game, I used to be like, hey, look, get this framboise. Yeah, man, that's so fun. That was like,
you slide on up. You're like, I'm a man of class.
Yeah, a man of class.
Yeah.
What's it called? What you say? Schlivitz.
Schlivovitz. Yeah,
I think that's it.
That's what it is. What is it? Yeah, we caught that part.
It is a fig liqueur.
Boom. Yeah. Check me out, bro.
Yeah, look at that.
30% alcohol, fig liqueur.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's nasty.
I never tried. That was I saw them do that. That was pre. Like I really was a.
That was like after your like first training shift there.
Plum?
Like you had to
plum brandy maybe.
Yeah, plum. There it is. Plum brandy, not fig.
Kosher
plum.
Slivovitz. It's had a yellow label.
Yep. With like now I'm interested. Now that they don't sell it anywhere.
I don't think so. You can find it online.
Probably you can't buy liquor online, can you? Can you bring? Did they let you ship liquor here?
I don't know how that works.
I've always wanted to, but I probably. I mean, that's one of those things of like. There's been some bottles that I miss of particular vodkas, or that I thought were really good. They stopped carrying in the store.
Right.
If I was able to do that, I'd have done it.
Yeah.
Man.
Was it like a round container?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to.
That's why we're doing those curves earlier.
If anyone's gonna have it,
That's why we were doing that.
He did the same thing. Yeah. He did the same-
Now you see why we were doing it.
Yeah, the curves.
Yeah. No. Slivovitz.
If anybody was gonna have it, it'd be Farm. I bet.
Yeah.
That's one place I could see having upstairs.
Or Doug could get it.
Yeah, Doug.
If they didn't have it.
Man, the whiskey heaven is Irish Lion. I didn't not Irish Lion, but Trojan Horse with Coach. Like
no, Crazy Horse. That's Crazy Horse.
The Crazy Horse. Yes, Crazy Horse. I don't know why I said Trojan.
Yeah, dude, Coach is a legend, man. He's so great.
Yes,
but no, they've Irish Lion has an insane list. Crazy Horse has that insane wall. Doug has an insane list at Farm, and the Truffles has a really good single malt.
I've never been in there.
Yeah,
I've wanted again. There's small plates for me, so I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's not small plates. Yeah, they got regular stuff. I went a couple weeks ago. Bob Atkins is a chef there. He does a really good job. Yeah,
he's in there.
He's that chef at Truffles.
Okay.
Yeah,
I ain't seen him in years.
Chef, whatever. Yeah, wow. Dude. I did this like corn chowder. I think it might have been. Was that the place that it was corn and clam chowder? And I'm like, bro, I was like, those are my two favorite chowders. Like, and he rolled them into one. I got so excited, and then like I think I did like a red snapper.
That sounds good.
That was good.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I chowdered in a long time.
So I used to go there way back when I was 23, 24, and they did a Monday night half price single malts.
Yep.
So I'd go in there, like I felt bad. It was like 30 minutes before close, but I'd like right away just get like they were on like an appetizer only menu.
Yep.
I'd get like their Kobe beef burger or something like that, and then like tried two different like $20 to $25 single malts that were half price.
Is your favorite? Did you find one?
I don't know. My favorite was I was introduced by Michael Cassidy at Uptown Isla. And it's so good. I can't even remember what year. I want to say 12 year.
Okay.
But it's COALI.
Oh, that's the name of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say it again.
Try even Isla. I don't know, man.
But CO starts with C.
COALILLA. Can you Google that, Jamie Garrett? COAL and then like ILLA, I think, something like that. Scotch single malt. It's something around there. You got to score the Eagles game over there, Darren.
Oh, it's two different words.
Yeah.
Al Ela single malt.
Yeah, it's two different words. My bad.
It is.
Anyway, I was having
6 and it's about to be half. It's the Cowboys and the 49ers.
Oh yeah, 49ers.
Yeah,
so 6-6.
Yeah, this old Brock Purdy thing.
That's weird.
Colts fans are gonna
Cool Ela.
Cool Ela. Okay, there it is.
Cool Ela.
Cool Ela. Cool Ela.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was sitting before like Michael and I really knew each other. I was sitting and having lunch there, and he like introduced me to it. He's like, "Oh, you should try this," and it was it was just so smooth. It had the perfect amount of like peatiness.
Okay,
and it wasn't like a peat bomb.
Yeah,
maybe like an Ardbeg or like a little Freud. It was
That's
like just that right little amount of smoky. And it was just again, it's all about that finish, that clean, like
that's what you like on the end,
crisp. Yeah,
got you.
Just like nothing. It's not lingering too hard.
I love a peat bomb. I think that's of a Scotch. That's what I'm actually looking for. Because at that point, I'm paying so much for that shit.
Yeah, well, no, but that's it's still very peaty.
Okay,
what's what are the peatiest ones? Space sides, I think. Or there's Highland Space Side. Yeah, dude, it's been a minute since I've been.
I do Lagavulin, and JB does Lafroig, but I do Lagavulin. Yeah.
It's been a bit since I've been in my single malt phase.
Oh, it's expensive. I mean, that's the thing. If I'm paying for something like that, I want it. I want it.
You're in the mood for a peat bomb.
I want it to sit. I don't want to drink it like I drink bourbon. You know
Have you ever had one of the cocktails that I had on the list at Sweetgrass was a smoked Sazerac and High West out of Utah.
I love High West.
A campfire bourbon.
That's my favorite bourbon.
Yeah, so
that's my favorite bourbon of all time.
Yes. Okay. Hell yeah. So it was just a Sazerac made with that.
Yeah. You had me at go
because I don't like licorice, but like that little absinthe rinse and the Sazerac is like so like perfect with the balance of like a little simple syrup, that bourbon, and then you add in the smoke element. And that was like, it was such an easy cocktail. There wasn't anything fancy about it, but it just like hit just right.
Man, and I can't drink past 8 o'clock either. So now I'm wanting pizza and all the things.
Hey, you can come be a sober salad with me.
Yeah. So, man,
one of the things I was gonna say before that really helped is like those first few times, like if you stop drinking, those first few times you go out, or after a few weeks of going, like still going out doing your thing, whatever, you start to realize that like all pretty much anytime you had a good time drinking was because you had energy and were in a good mood anyway.
Yeah.
And you had shitty times drinking when you were tired and weren't in a good mood.
Okay.
So I still have a blast if I go out and I'm in a good mood
yeah.
and I have energy.
Yeah.
And it helps that I'm already like a social person.
Yeah.
Some people need that to, open up a little bit
Not
more.
us, yeah.
But like if I'm tired and in a shitty mood, I'm going to have a shitty time.
That's fair.
Like it was never, you know what I mean? Like once you start realizing, and like a big thing for me was bingo.
Okay.
Like, oh man, I got to be on the mic in front of all these college kids. Like they're going to start heckling. One of these weeks they're going to heckle. You know what I mean? Like it's coming.
No
like,
one's doing that to you, man.
No, I know. Yeah, I've had a couple, but like it's fortunately they've always caught me at a good time where I'm like,
you can't beat the guy on the mic.
Yeah, no, thank you. Exactly. And
I
it's
got
like
a microphone. You know what I mean?
exactly. Mic is power, man.
Yeah.
We need to get t-shirts to say that. Mic is power.
Yeah, I rode a bus going to school. I will read you thing like the Terminator when he walks in the bar. And like I'll read you from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah. No, it's never been bad at all. It's been, everybody. It's one of those things people hate on college kids, but maybe as bingo hosts, they love us.
Yeah.
They're super nice. They're talking to us, and they're really, really, really cool. Yeah. I think it changes my perception on the college students because of what I do with bingo.
Yeah.
But that first bingo I had done bingos before, not drinking, but normally I would have a couple double whiskey Sprites, double maker Sprites, and you're thinking like, oh, like I'm good at this because I'm like taking the edge off, anxiety, whatever. And then that first one I did when I'm just like, okay, like we're not done drinking for a long time. I killed it. I was so loose on the mic. Normally I would just stick to the jokes I have and my little like not script, but what I normally say. But I was just ad-libbing and riffing and
I love those nights.
And dude, it was just like I was like, oh man, like let's go.
Good. Yeah.
Like I don't need that, like whatever the hell. Like I don't need performance enhancers or whatever. Like I got this shit. Like and so that was a great feeling.
Just knowing you can do it without it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you'll still get, but again, if you have nerves about it, it's because you're tired. It's because you're in a bad mood. If you're in a good mood and you got energy, you're gonna go in like you're fine. You're not thinking about that shit. You just go in and do your thing.
For me, I guess my mic at karaoke is not I don't have to do as much on the mic. For the most part, I let the middle music do most of it, but those nights where you do get into the good ad libs and they are funny and everything's going your way, like that's never alcohol induced. That's just energy induced. That's like the vibes. It's the vibes of the room.
Absolutely. Well, you would think on bigger, like I don't have to do a lot of ad libbing. I can be pretty standard. All right, first game of the night, we're playing bingo, vertical, horizontal, diagonal.
Your talk.
But then I'm calling numbers. But the music is it, man. It's the music. That's what makes our bingo what it is.
You think so?
The ability. Absolutely. Well, I mean,
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit there, sir.
Well, I'm taking credit for the music I play.
That's true, but I think your vibe on the mic too. I'll say that.
All right. No, it's just like, but that's like it sets the tone and the mood.
Yeah.
We've had to do a couple lately at Brothers because there's been Thursday night IU games.
Yeah.
And they changed something because they used to have it where they could put game volume upstairs and we would still rock our thing out. But something got changed. They can't do that anymore. So I'm doing bingo with a mic that like cuts out the game volume when I talk and then comes back in.
Okay.
And bro, it is a whole nother ball game without having like bring them out. It's hard to yell when the bell rails in your mouth. Like, you know what I mean? To get it. And then I'm like, let's go. Like, let's get ready to bingo. You know what I mean?
Bone crusher.
And without that, I'm just interrupting the game or like first commercial break. Look, I mean, it still works. Again, it works because that crowd's already established, and they get hype and get into it.
They know you got a good bingo crowd there.
Oh, it's amazing.
I've seen videos of it.
Oh, bro, they're so great. Yeah, it's just sing along city, man.
Brothers have those gator balls. If you're on a low carb diet, you ever had a gator ball?
Oh yeah, it's like isn't a little jalapeno in it?
Yeah, it's like the chicken wrapped in bacon with the jalapeno fried. Like the thing is, I couldn't even believe that existed. And I was like, someone should have a gator ball. So I used to go after that was like my after work, like I'm going home. I need to eat something real quick. I'm not going to eat till later on, but I eat something low carb. Yeah. It's just those gator balls. And they're open at time. Like Brothers is open.
You can
at
get
like
them kind of later.
Or if I don't get them in like 5 or 6.
Oh yeah. No, they open lunch too. Yeah.
So you get them in the middle of the day. That's the cool part.
This might be a controversial take, but Brothers has my favorite cheese curds. They're like, because normally cheese curds are kind of dense. Yeah. Right? Theirs are fluffy. It has like a fluffy batter on it. I got you. And normally I'm a big cheese curds go with marinara. Okay. Or ranch. Okay. I know before you say it.
No, I don't do cheese curds. That's something I just never. I just never got into them.
You need, but theirs go perfect with their honey mustard.
Okay.
There's something about the fluffy, the cheese. I mean, Brothers is based out of Wisconsin.
Okay.
And so,
That makes
of course,
sense.
they do cheese curds and they do
okay.
them well.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And there's
'Cause that's a
something about
Wisconsin thing.
theirs that are just like kind of fluffy. The cheese is great, and just that honey mustard has this perfect little tang.
Okay.
And it's my go-to.
Okay.
And they're boneless. Their boneless wings are dope because they're not like shitty wannabe. They're just like almost like chopped up chicken tenders.
Yes, I got you.
And it's the smoky chipotle sauce. If you go to
Okay.
Brothers, that's my move.
Is the smoky BW3 chicken tenders? You just have to do them without sauce. So in other words, if you get them with the sauce is heavy and it ends up like making what is
Pulling
normally
it.
like a crunchy good batter. It soggies it, and
Interesting.
it's completely different chicken tenders or boneless chicken wings or McNuggets. You know,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It changes it completely if you get BW3s with the sauce on the side. That's the trick for them.
Okay.
So like if otherwise, I mean, they do have a great batter, but you'll never taste it when it's just soaked in that
When it's-
sauce.
Yeah, when it's tossed or
Yeah,
whatever.
just
yeah.
get whatever sauce you like, the Parmesan, whatever you want, but just get it on the side.
On the parm garlic note, have you had their street tacos?
Who?
B-dubs. It's
no.
one of the best values. It's
Okay.
like $6.
Okay.
And you get
I've
3
seen them, yeah.
little street tacos.
I've seen
and they're
them.
like it will almost fill you up.
Man,
And it's like cheap. It's really cheap.
Kalau lost their kitchen, but those tacos, boy.
Wait.
Kalau, yeah, their kitchen staff's been gone for weeks since the
because
break.
because you'll come in a bingo and get carry out.
Uh-huh.
So my whole, actually, if you don't mind, I
Shoot.
want to get into Kalau because I've got some thoughts on what on the food side there.
Okay.
But let's take a quick break real quick.
Okay, right on.
Cool. Introducing Constellation Stage and Screen, Bloomington's newest professional theater and film company. On stage next, Constellation presents American Fast, a riveting new sports drama playing March 23rd through April 8th at the Ted Jones Playhouse. 21-year-old college basketball sensation Katie Salama makes it to March Madness, only to become a national news story when she lies about observing the Muslim fast while competing in the tournament. See this thrilling new basketball drama, American Fast, on stage March 23rd through April 8th in downtown Bloomington. Find tickets at constellation.org. You haven't heard about Excalibur? Well, you better ask somebody. It's Bloomington's premier axe throwing facility located at 3604 West 3rd Street. It's perfect for birthdays, wedding parties, corporate events, or just hanging out with your friends. They also offer fun for all ages and super exciting Jelly Ball. Find out more and book your next event at axcaliburs.com. That's AXE Caliber with an S, axcaliburs.com. Did you know the Chocolate Mousse has a second Bloomington location? Located next to Buffalo's on Indiana Avenue, not only can you find our famous homemade ice cream, but we also have a full coffee menu featuring locally roasted Brown County coffee and delicious vegan and gluten-free treats from our friends at Rainbow Bakery. Skip the line and order ahead at moosebtown.com 7 days a week. Open early at 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. It's the perfect early morning stop, midday pick-me-up, or late night snack. Like we're back? Okay, sweet. So the reason, obviously, we cover restaurant bars, and you're one of the more untraditional guests because you're not affiliated with a restaurant or bar directly. But you own Misfit Toy Karaoke, you're lead singer of the Dynamics, and you gig in a lot of bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of get like what it's like from your side because we're talking to servers, we're talking to owners, but like what about the people gigging in there and kind of some of your experiences? We started talking about Kalau right before the break.
Yeah. Tacos.
Yeah, well, so that's the thing is like because you get to know the food, like we were talking about with Fairfax.
Yes.
We know that we have gotten to know Fairfax food because we're gigging
there. Yeah, you get just I get a little bit of everybody. I've gigged this town. I've done so many. I mean, like you mentioned Brown County Inn earlier. There's places I've even forgot about. Like, oh yeah, I did do karaoke there for a little bit.
Well, yeah, and wedding DJing.
Yeah, wedding
too.
DJing, just across the board. But yeah, I think for me it's I like the bars when the management's consistent and they support karaoke and they know and they believe in it. That is helpful.
You got to give it time to build.
Yeah, you always, and not just that, but you have to know. You have to like know. Either understand karaoke or trust me to understand karaoke because there's a lot of little details in it to make it hum. I started this thing 13 years ago in Uncle Lee's when it was on the west side, and then from there I did like and there's little things I've tried. Like I did I've been dying. I've never made it work, but I've always wanted to do a hip hop karaoke. Something like what we talked about with coaches, but just karaoke.
Yeah.
Where it's just hip hop, and that's like a dream of mine. So I've tried that a couple spots, from the Yogis into the Jake's, and I was.
Oh, dude, I forgot about karaoke at Jake's. Those were good
Oh, yeah.
times. That wasn't
Oh,
very
yeah.
long.
Oh yeah.
But like, I really enjoyed karaoke at
Oh, yeah.
Jake's. I totally forgot about that.
I miss Monday night at the Bird. That's actually
Dude.
one I miss the most.
I love that one because you have monitors.
Yeah, and you got
'Cause
Dwayne.
You can actually,
yeah.
I always thought I sounded like a rock star when I sang at the Bird, because
you got Dwayne.
Yeah,
He's one of the best sound technicians.
Yeah, you have a
Doing your
sound guy,
yeah.
and you have monitors.
Yeah, the
And I'm
bar.
like,
It's
man,
like,
maybe
and
I
it
should
wasn't busy, but that was kind of the point. I just that's probably my most missed one. But just either being a part of the karaoke community all these years, and also, so before I owned this business, that was my thing. Was pool. I shot pool at places, and I did karaoke places. So those were my communities. And when I started this, you start to learn, like, okay, this is the business side of things, just the managers and the places, like Kalau might have a new manager every 3 years because it's a place that's ran by the students. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that person is probably going to be running some Fortune 500 company in like 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So like,
absolutely.
I mean, so like they'll cycle out, but then there's other places that are like, or even with the back door, they've changed management like 3-4 times. So just, I think one of the things that you just get used to, things change. You got to be cool with it. This town changes. If you do anything for a decade, you really do start to notice like the nuance. Things will change on you, and you just got to be prepared to deal with them and be flexible.
Adapt
and keep it, but stay true to what you do. Like for me, karaoke's community, and it is. And I didn't think it's for me. I enjoy it when people come together in song. That means more to me than that's the thing that hooks it all. Like when someone is, maybe they don't sing a lot and they've learned it. Like I've seen people like vocally grow because they're trying out songs, or just like I love that part of like the karaoke vibe.
Well, before McCree's, I'd only karaokeed once when I was like 12.
Okay.
And my little sister and my sister that's like a year older than me, it was like a church thing, and we tried doing Miami by Will Smith.
Oh yeah.
And of course, like the rap verse is going, we're just like, we can't keep up at all or say anything. And then we just do the welcome to Miami. Oh me, oh I me. And that's it. That's all we're doing.
The chorus singers.
And Dan Johnson it was when I was working at Sweetgrass.
Oh yeah, Dan.
He was the one that told me about McCree's karaoke.
Okay.
And I'd always, like at O'Charlie's on the line, I'd always sing "Buy You a Drink."
Yep.
I'm a buy you a drink,
T-Pain.
and just like trying to like make sure some girl's heart heard me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just. And he told me, he's like, dude, they're doing this karaoke at McCree's, and I remember going in there and doing No Diggity, and just like it, like doing well. Maybe not the first time, maybe it was the second, but like I had a good one eventually.
Yeah, you find your
and
song.
like once you have it, and you got like, you're so encouraging. All the regulars there. That's the big part of Garrett. You go in and you see all these people. It's all it's 80% regulars.
Yes.
And that's the community part.
Yes, you get to know. Yes, that's back door. That's tonight. That's like every Sunday we do that back door. And the Kalau's different because in undergrad they are their own community. Like they're
right.
Like that's how it was when I was in school. Like you are. Like you move with the pulse of the school.
Right.
So they've already formed their own community. It's not about building it. I'm partaking in it. But the spaces where when you get to be 24, when you're just out of school, and you're looking for something to do, and you sing. And you might sing Redneck Woman, you might sing Backstreet Boys, you might sing whatever song it is you sing in your car. You get to go do that song, and people don't boo. I don't do any of the booing. They gotta get you kicked out with me. Like there's no heckling,
right?
But everybody gets to go up there and do the song on their heart.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I've been to the Kalau one a couple times, but Backdoor is usually the one to go to. Like Sunday night, it's a lot of industry folks.
That's home base. I always call it. It's a home base. Wednesday at Root Cellars is the one I'm trying to build right now. It's we start at like 10 o'clock and we go till 1. And it's good because it's a good mixture. Like I've got my regulars that might come out that are out on a Wednesday night at 10 because it starts at 10.
But you get your students that are coming from Bluebird or whatever too.
Yes. So it's a good mixture. Thursday we do Fairfax. That's out on the south side. At least for now. We might stop just like
when they pick up and get busy.
Yeah, that's
a good winter thing.
And I hope it works out right. It's like again, consistency matters. Like if someone drives out there and it doesn't, it's like that. There's nothing worse. Like I used to go to McDonald's and I would like on the south side, and you get out of bed, you get your thing going, you're like, okay, it's 24 hours. You get there and it's not open. Yeah. And so there's almost that's the heart conquering that. I'm gonna have to figure out what
that's
Fairfax.
What killed B-Town Diner for me.
Yes,
was like I would be B-Town Diner's biggest fan if it was consistent.
Yes,
and it's just not.
That's
they're the most one at like 3 or 4 a.m.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because you knew you could just go in there and get great food.
We would go there every time after bingo if it was open.
The moment you mess with consistency, let's talk about these things with karaoke. The moment you start messing with consistency, you're starting over every time. Yeah, like you're rebuilding trust.
Absolutely.
Like, and if you're asking someone to drive out that far to like, I know it serves that community, but what you really want is something to make people come.
A draw. Yeah.
Like, and that is going to have to work through that this coming up spring, I think. But at least for right now, we are doing it. It's Monday upstairs is rocking.
I've done that one a couple times. That one's great, dude. I got so happy when I didn't know these college kids knew Tyler Childers, and they're up there singing "Feathered Indians." And like,
I thought when I first saw that song, I was nervous because I'd never heard it, and I thought it was gonna be racist. And I didn't realize that was like a name or something. Like it's a country or something.
Indian,
I was like, man, these motherfuckers about to try and slide some
what kind of honky
some
shit?
bullshit. You know what I mean? What the fuck? I mean, the first time they tried, I'm like, man, trying to slide some shit in. What is a feather? Isn't it a name of something like it's a euphemism for something? It's like a naps. It's something camping or something. It's the euphemism they talk about in the song. No, never mind. I'll have to look at it.
I'm thinking through the lyrics in my head. The only lyric I can think of: "Well, my buckle makes impressions on the inside of her thigh.
Something. I think
there
that's
are
what it is.
little feathered Indians doing something through the night."
Let me check.
That's what it is.
But yeah, I was like, man, so they're gonna do some racist song on me. But it turns out, like they know that. I still don't buy Morgan Wallen. I bought his first song.
Dude, that's one. The problem is like Morgan Wallen's got some catchy songs, but how eager certain people were to rally around him, like, and were more of a fan. That's the troublesome part. Like that's the part where it's like, ugh.
You can get my money for the first one because whatever his first song was, I can't think of what it was. But once I know, and then I'm like, well, I just don't. He's the one that they asked for that I don't really rock with like that. Let me look at this feather Indian. It's got to be something. Damn it, I'm gonna look it up. Indian.
Yeah, well, it's on that line after my buckle makes impressions on the inside of her thigh. There were little feathered Indians like dancing slowly through the night or something like that. You got it, Garrett? Feathered Indians, Tyler Childers, huh? Yeah.
No, I'm just curious what it is. Doesn't it mean something?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. I don't think there's
so it is just people saying Indians in 2020. Damn it, white people. I thought it was. I was like, well, they clearly just not making songs with.
That's a white people.
Yeah. Oh man.
Here I got it right here.
That's funny. Let's see. Look at that. It's not a euphemism.
So it's from like pillow, like I think it's like feathers from a pillow.
Something
because it says, "Well, my buckle makes impressions on the inside of her thigh. There are little feathered Indians where we tussled through the night."
It's feathers coming out the pillow.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Well, that's not.
It's not like some like Chief Wahoo Cleveland Indians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not. I just find it funny when like, oh yeah, it's just interesting. Now I guess fair. I thought it was something else. I thought it was like the buckle. I thought the buckle print was like some country speak for feather Indian. I try to keep impressed about country.
Dude,
slang.
you gotta stay on your toes, man.
You do, man.
Fucking races get creative, man.
They do. They like to show out and be weird on public. But usually I catch them. But yeah, it's been upstairs has been good. Zach's been doing that. He's like like my dude, man. He's
so when you mentioned that earlier, because how that picked up, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no,
how he would hang out in the booth with you. That's what happened with Tim.
Yeah,
I was like, bro, come hang out with me at Brothers. Or at KOK where I do bingo, and next thing you know, he's calling numbers, he's DJ. You know what I mean? And it's funny how
like this person can do it. He's jamming too. Like Zach is amazing. And Madam X, she does Fairfax for me. She's amazing. She's one of the best singers. Period. Like one of them singers just want to kick her in her chest. You know what I mean? Like when
I don't know what you mean.
So sometimes in black culture, when people are jamming, it makes you violent. It's like you just want to get on stage and tackle them and like shove them into like playing in your face.
All right.
Don't be playing in my face.
Specifically, I didn't understand the kick him in the chest.
Oh, that's why.
I get what you mean. You just want,
dude, just like throw a shoe at him. It's like the highest form of respect. Right. If somebody's like, you made me so mad singing that because you're so good.
Right. Yeah.
Madam X induces that all the time.
Dude, I loved your. I saw when you guys were going in your Mosley off.
Oh yeah,
between you and your brothers.
Man, he was wrong too. That dude, he was so wrong. And the thing is, my brother's never gonna. I'm at least gonna own. Like if he had continued the W that he was on his way to, I'd have owned it. But not that. Yeah.
Brother. So what was he? Because I saw your post and his comment. So Darran has multiple, but two of the brothers, the three of them all sang a song at Root Cellar in a row.
It was me, Fat Kid, and Jason. So I sang first. I did "Kiss Me" by Sixpence None the Wiser. And the Richard, yes. Yeah. And they were like they ate it up. The notes were good. Like I felt like there's not often. I'm not a braggart. So a lot of times,
you're realistic about.
I'll be like, I know I'm my hardest critic, but I murdered it. And I knew I did. I left it like, damn. I was like, I fucking murdered that song.
Yeah.
And then Aaron went behind me, and normally Aaron I expect to murder me.
Yeah.
But he did the wrong song, and I was like, oh sweet, Fat Kid's over there fucking up. I might sneak it. And then Jason comes up and is like, what song should I do? John Legend's he does one like the John Legend Used to Love Her or
Used to Love You.
Yes. He's trying to do that one or Use Somebody, and I'm like, this is definitely a Use Somebody crowd. Like 20.
Leon?
Yeah. I was like, so he does that song and he is murdering it. But then he gets to the part where he's like, where it goes, I hope to make you notice. I hope some girls notice me out there. And he lost.
I was wondering what you were saying. Okay,
he lost it because at that point you're the 46-year-old man
in a room full of
college kids hitting on him. It's like you can do it. Or the three girls that were into it, and then later when he knew he lost them because he was like, "Hey, I'll clap for me." And the three girls that were into the three girls that was into what he was in,
doing at first.
Yeah, those are the only three that clap. Because he lost everybody else with that.
Yeah.
And so I was like that. And so that was my honest observation.
Yeah,
but Jason,
and that's why you got the dub.
That's why I got my W. And I know that. He won on the internet. But I won in real life. So I'll take it. You know what I mean?
I don't know if he won on the internet. It was fun, brotherly banter.
I love it. I love that dude. I'm the oldest. He's right under me.
You ever do that one that used to love the maybe?
Yeah. That was like Uncle E's. That was like when that song came out. Remember when John Legend first came out, So High on Ordinary People Used to Love Her. That was like, and he's right in that was later. That was like, he was right. John Legend is there's not many male singers these days that are like that, like the old Jeffrey Osborne baritones.
Yeah. Like so that's the thing is like it fits my register well, but he has a lot of songs that are like too quick. Yeah. That's why Ordinary People's good for me because I got time to breathe.
Down. Yes.
Because I don't have breathing technique.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that we figured out that Ordinary People should have been a duet.
We do.
There's been a couple ones.
Where like
felt
really good.
Crowd is
felt
like,
really good.
What just happened?
Yeah. It felt really good.
We get that long embrace at the end. Like we know what we just did.
Yeah. That's what I mean. When you know, you can feel it. You can feel it from the crowd. You know when you did well in karaoke like that, and you don't have to be like it. And that was my point.
It was big for me because I remember early on you won't sugarcoat things. You're like, Jordan, like you can't do that song. You're not good enough.
Not good enough. Like you need to go to the lab, or like if you're wasted, I'd be like, you should. Like, you know what I mean?
That would be the problem. Yeah. I'd be hammered out here trying to do a ballad,
trying to do a run. I'd be like, listen, Jordan, listen. You can't. You're not gonna be able to do jazz. Like in this moment, but like when you, and it's also about like because I know you want that. You want that. You know what I mean? So it's like if I know a singer is like they're desiring, like some singers get up and they just want to push their energy and it doesn't matter. You're a person who you want this. You want the crowd to feel what you want. You want that circular energy thing happening. And there's certain songs for people that will do that, and Ordinary People like in that duet form that we murdered. You're No Diggity.
It's such a pull. It's such a give and a take, and like. I don't know.
It's same as DJ. It's like when you do a karaoke song, you have to look at a crowd, and know.
Well, that's why it's tough with Ordinary People. Yeah, it's got to be a right crowd because it's like usually karaoke you want hype and fun. Yep. Ordinary People brings it down, so you really got to do it well. It has to be a
crowd that treats Ordinary People like Miley Cyrus The Climb. They have to know it like that. You mean you have to look at a room and think this
it has
is
to
like
strike that chord.
Yes, you were like yes. Man, I remember this time period. Like and if it doesn't do that, then you shouldn't do it. No Diggity again works, but it might not work at all at Kalau. Because those kids don't know that song. Yeah. Which is crazy.
When I switched, like, No Diggity was my go-to for a long time, and then it switched over to Lean on Me by Bill Withers. Because that's got the just go, and you're handing the mic out to them, and they'll all be, Yeah.
That's a perfect example of a song. And that still rocks. That's like any song that does this, where they're singing with you, and they know those words even without the screen.
Yeah, that one's such a classic. It doesn't matter how young you're going to know that.
Yeah, you know that. I don't know how, but that's, you asked about other songs that are, like, long time ago,
top five.
I forgot one. ABBA, Dancing Queen.
Yeah, dude, that's a banger. That's on the weekly bingo playlist. Well, I think that one is big because of Mamma Mia.
It was.
That's why. Like,
I couldn't figure out why. I was like, why these kids fucking know? Fucking
right.
Dancing?
What was another one I played? what was it? I think I played Independent Women, part 2 or whatever, and I was like, let's see how this goes. I don't think it's going to go well. And they knew it. They were about it.
It's funny you say that.
It's funny you find those ones.
My one of this week like that is also Destiny's Child is Girl. Girl, I'm a want to. Beyonce, I don't know if, like, you'll know when it's called, you know what I'm talking about? It's Girl by it's a Destiny's Child hit. That is like that. It's like it's on the same level of Independent Women. Like you have to know Destiny Child's hits to know it. But if it's Girl by Destiny, that's my.
Okay.
I forgot how much of a banger that was.
Because I don't even know.
You'll know it when you hear it. Okay. Guaranteed. Yeah. You'll know it. That's what I mean by, and so will they. And they haven't heard it forever. And so that's
another banger. Survivor.
Oh yeah.
I'm a survivor.
Destiny's Child, man.
Well, anything that's like empowerment, that's gonna get like like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna get.
Great. It's cool. It's yeah.
You can pull it that way. Well, man, thank you for having me, bro. I don't want to keep you. I know we had a time frame. But
we're gonna have to have you back. There's so much more to touch on. We didn't even talk about dynamics or like
Pacers and
Pacers. Yeah, we could just talk Pacers all day.
God,
IU, all that fun stuff.
But
man, it's truly a pleasure, and I think we're gonna go do some karaoke. So,
hear it.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining us in the latest episode of the No Dishes podcast. Do you like what you heard? Be sure to write a review, rate us, subscribe, like, whatever it is that you do to show your support. We really appreciate it. Until next time, be sure to keep those hands dry. This episode of the No Dishes podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Garrett Portinga of Green Hat Media in beautiful downtown Bloomington, Indiana. Season 4 of the No Dishes podcast is brought to you by visitbloomington.com. Visitbloomington.com is the best resource for restaurants and culinary information, special events, fun activities, places to stay, and more in our area. We share a similar mission here on the No Dishes podcast of highlighting local businesses and the people who make our community unique. We can't thank them enough for hopping on board. Check them out at visitbloomington.com to easily plan your next meal, visit, or night out on the town.
No Dishes Media.
No Dishes Media.